Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody this morning? Lovely to have your company. My name's Vicky. Oh my word, I had such a good sleep last night. It's the first time I've had a really good night's sleep for a long time. I've been, so excited. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday was just manic, wasn't it, all day long? So hope everybody else is feeling nice and restful this morning. We had to stay last night because we've got a product launch today. We don't mind staying, especially when we get to play with amazing new toys that we've got today. So there's loads and loads that we've got coming up today, which I'll tell you throughout the show. But yeah, I think we just all slept well last night, didn't we? We were exhausted. We've got a brilliant early bird today to start the show. Now, of course, when you're cutting into your new Liberty fabrics, which I know so many of you managed to get yesterday, including our guest Allison Maryon. She's just been telling me she got the big mega bundle. She's very excited. So if you managed to get any of the Liberty fabrics, then of course you do want to make sure that you're cutting your fabric with a nice sharp blade, because otherwise you end up slashing your fabric, you end up potentially ruining your fabric. What's our Delphine's favourite saying? Measure twice, cut once. But doing it with a duff blade sometimes can, of course, make your cutting inaccurate. So what's great about this is that you're getting 3 of your 45mm blades. They're your normal rotary blades that you can put into your Alpha, the Alpha, the Clover, the Millwood. All of the rotary cutting brands, they'll be absolutely fine with, as long as they've got that centre. Can you see it's got like a funny sort of shaped centre, which a majority, it's the sort of standard 45mm blades. And then also, for today's early bird, we've added in the decorative ones. What I love about this is, look, you've not only got a skip, which gives you a really lovely finish. A wave, again, gives you a lovely wavy finish. This one is brilliant. Pinking. Dressmakers. Instead of doing your, it's up to you. If you've got an overlocker, amazing. If you haven't, we talk about zigzagging. We also talk about just pink the edges. Yesterday, we were saying with the tote bag, with the beautiful Liberty tote bag, Quilt as you go, on your insides, just pink them if you want. You can just go over with your pinking shears normally, or your pinking rotary cutter. Now, I don't know about you, but I always struggle when I'm pinking with a pair of scissors to get the next cut to still carry on with that zigzag. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this is just going to give you that lovely, clean, constant pinked edge, which I loved as decorative as well. I think on little, toys clothing, it looks beautiful. With bunting, it looks amazing to have a really lovely pinked edge or a wavy edge. So have a bit of a play around with them. On our website, we've got some really affordable rotary cutters. So maybe you have your one as your normal 45mm blade, and then you have one that's dedicated to just your pinking blade or just your wave blade or just your decorative that you can change in between. Now, today's early bird is a saving of a whopping £4. We have been doing savings, well, I thought Black Friday was over. It hasn't stopped. The savings have been amazing, absolutely amazing, and they will continue throughout the day. So that's your P&P sorted for the day, isn't it? I don't know about you, but I always think of the mentality of, right, I've paid my postage and packaging, I've got that for free with this discount, therefore my P&P is like free for the day now, which is absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Oh, and there's so many different things that I need to tell you about. Our 12 Days of Christmas event that we're running at the moment, I'll tell you about in just a moment. But there's nothing worse than, as I say, Sunday afternoon, you're wanting to start another new project and your rotary cutter isn't sharp. And yes, of course, you can sharpen your rotary blades, and I would recommend you do. You can sharpen these. You can absolutely sharpen these. I wouldn't sharpen the, I wouldn't put these in your sharpener. But of course, these are fantastic to sharpen. Now, 45mm blades, which is the most common rotary cutter blade, isn't it, really? This is the one that you're probably going to use for a majority of your cutting. We have got some of the smaller rotary blades actually in stock, back in stock today. So have a look out for those as well for more intricate cutting. But for a majority of your rotary cutting, this is going to be perfect. Something that you're always going to need. Why not stock up? because as I say, it's always, isn't it, typical that on a Sunday afternoon, when you're ready to do some cutting and preparing for your next project, that it isn't quite sharp, and there's no haberdashery shops that are open on Sundays normally. So there you go. Absolutely make the most of it. Alan, I'm so sorry this 560 isn't in stock yet. We have no idea when it's coming back into stock. There's a bit of a national problem. It isn't just with us. We've got the 550, Alan. We haven't got the 560, I'm afraid. We don't know when it's coming back in. Well done, everybody. It's £14.98. If you're just waking up with us, oh, it's a lovely, lovely day today. I feel like we can breathe today. Yesterday, we might look like, you know, lovely swans. We were paddling like crazy under the water. It was manic. It was absolutely manic. Hayley B was like, today's been brilliant. I've been watching today's show. It was so good. And we were like, today's been manic. Been brilliant. I mean, we loved yesterday's show. Well done everybody who managed to get Delphine's kits and the Liberty, of course. It was just amazing. So if you are shopping throughout these 12 days of Christmas, we've got a really special event on as well. So stay tuned to find out more about that. Hello, Irene. Hello, Colleen. Hello, Jackie. Hello, Angie. Come say hello to me on Facebook. I'm on the Facebook Live. Did you get your Liberty this yesterday? Are you ready as well? Have you noticed? Allison Maryon is here with Becky's knitting roll, which is really, really exciting. I know that this has been a project we've been waiting to get in for ages and ages and ages and ages. So very, very excited about that. Come on in and say hello to us though. Today's early bird special is a great way to wake up with us. Every morning we do a great discount, bearing in mind this is a £4 saving. Yesterday we saved £1 on an early bird. Today, £4 saving, and it's something that's an essential, really, isn't it? If you've got a rotary cutter, then of course you're going to need to replace your blades at some point. So definitely stock up. I do like the opportunity to have a go with some of the decorative ones as well. It isn't just for quilters. I've seen a lot more dressmakers using rotary cutters recently. I don't know if you watch the Great British Sewing Bee, but if you've seen on episodes, there's a lot of people a lot of dressmakers who start to use rotary blades instead. You get a lovely clean edge, lovely clean finish. Just £14.98. Right, so that's today's early bird. Today's show, let me tell you what's coming up in today's show. So this first hour, we've got loads coming up in this first hour. It isn't just solely creative grids, but we've got some of our favourite creative grids. So we've got the mini stripology, we've got the squares, we've got the roundup tool, we've got the triangles, we've got some of the really great products as well that work in conjunction and work really, really well with creative grids. So stay tuned for this hour. 9 o'clock, oh my word, you will love the quilt that we have. And I must say, it's not very often that we say the word quick quilt. This is going to be a brilliant first quilting project, or this is going to be a fantastic, I mean, look at it. Isn't it beautiful? I absolutely love this quilt. You've got all of your gorgeous autumnal colours. You've got a bit of a plique in there. Got some stitching in the ditch. Oh, by the way, it's on pre-order and it's already selling. It is already selling. Absolutely make the most of that. I'll show you how to pre-order if you don't know in just a moment. Then, 10 o'clock, we've got product launches coming up at 10 o'clock. We've got essentials for your workroom. Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. That is at 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock, we've got the knitting roll, which again is absolutely brilliant. Is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. We've been so excited to have this in stock. Have a look at it. Yes, there it is. I love the panels. I absolutely love the panels. I absolutely love the... Oh, you've opened it. Look at that. Yarn Lane's on today, so if you do want to get kitted out with all of your lovely knitting roll, that's at 11 o'clock. And then Rebecca Reed is going to be here for Yarn Lane with Knitty Critters. And I must say, I've already purchased mine this morning. I'm so excited to see the demo on on the Nitty Critters kits because they are absolutely beautiful. They're really, really beautiful. So that's going to be a busy, busy show as well. Now, if you want to get in touch with us today, there's plenty of ways of doing it. We are a live interactive show this morning and we really, really want your input. I know that we've made it to the 2nd of December, which of course a lot of, places though, it hasn't really made, I'm waving to Rebecca Reed, she's here bright and early this morning. And you got Christmas jumper on. Looking good. Fa la 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 la. You'll see her at 12 o'clock today. You'll see her at 12. Oh, and it's like, get her on telly now. Get her on telly. She's got a lovely Christmas jumper on. We're feeling festive, but I know it's still a difficult time for a lot of people. We're obviously still under lots of restrictions here in the UK, so keep us company today. We need your company. Email studio@sewingstreet.com, or of course come in on Facebook, Sewing Street TV. We've got a live feed going on and I've got the iPad here with all of your messages coming through, so please, please do make the most of it. Alan, split pay is brilliant. It's only on things that are over £150. 3 payments on over 150. If a product is over £170, then you get it over 5 payments, interest free. If you do have any questions about it, please, please, please speak to our customer service team though. But there's the split pay options for you, Alan. As I say, £799. It's 5 payments. Okay, so at the moment we have launched our 12 Days of Christmas event, which is brilliant. So those of you that purchased yesterday, which I know so many of you did, if you're shopping between yesterday and the 12th of December for 6 days or more, it doesn't need to be 6 consecutive days, but for 6 days or more out of the first 12 days of December, then you get free P&P in the whole of January. How good is that? And we have got some great things planned for January. I love January for the bargains. It's going to be brilliant. So if you do have any questions about that, please speak to the customer service team or let me know. But basically, you just need to buy at least one item on the website or on the telly, on the repeat, wherever you're watching. You can purchase anything off the website, even if it's pins, even if it's just some spare needles, even if it's the early bird each morning. Everybody is going to be guaranteed to get free P&P if you're purchasing 6 days in the first 12 days. Now, I love this, especially this year. I must say, Christmas is a time, of course, where I understand it's a very expensive time of year, and it's been a bit of a strange year this year. So personally, I'm only buying presents this year that are going to be useful, that are only going to be useful, and things that people want. I'm asking people more this year, like, right, what do you need? What is it that you want? So if anybody's asked you that question and you know that you're going to use it, the great thing about our gift cards is there's no time limit of how short you have to use it or how long you need to spend it. So you could use it the next day or you could use it the following year. There's no time limit. So there's also this little thing that says drop a hint. So for example, if you find a product that you want, Kat, and I'll show you how you can drop me a hint. What do you want? You want a sewing machine? All right then. She wants the 550. She wants to go in big. So if you scroll down on that product, this is on the whole of the website, so all of the products, by the way. Can you see it says drop a hint there? If you click that, that will take you to this, and it will say to fill it out, you can type in your name. That's Catherine, Kat. Drop in a hint to me. What's my email address? Put my email in and then send them a message and say, oh, got my eye on this. And it can be anything. It can be absolutely anything. So that's fantastic. So that's how to drop a hint. But also, if you'd prefer to say, look, if you just get me a gift card from Sewing Street or Yarn Lane, then of course we can add any amount onto the gift card from £10 right up to £500 on the website with a customer service team. They can send you out a physical card or you can get an e-card. Obviously, if you buy a physical card, you need to pay the postage and packaging. So the e-card's great. Now, there you go. Next to Watch Live, can you see it's got the gift card there? Shop now. Click on that one. Sewing Street gift card is so easy. So whether you want to post it or email it, let's do email. Let's be, save the planet. Let's go email. chosen our card design. We've chosen an e-gift. Now you can do £10, 25, 50 or 100. But if you said, right, actually, no, £45 is what I want to do, you can do any amount between 10 and 500. £45 there. Who are you going to send it to? So you can send it to yourself, or you can send it directly to whoever you want via email. Now, again, type in their details. Type in their email address that it's going to go to. Just confirm it so it's make sure the one. You can add a personal note. Who is it from? Let them know who it's from. And then you can either send it now so they'll get it today, or you can schedule a date for it to be sent. So you can send it on Christmas Day. You can say, check your email on Christmas Day, purchase it, and then they will be able to purchase. So I think that is brilliant, isn't it? It's such a great way of being able to buy useful things for people this year. If you do know anybody that's struggling, you know, what do I get you? What do I get you? Just send them over to our website to get you a gift card or drop a hint maybe. Hopefully that makes it clear for everybody, because I know we don't get a chance to show that on air. We don't normally have time. Days like yesterday, we just don't have time to mention it. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear, because I know it is the time of year now that we're all thinking about it. So if you do want to get all sorted. Right, so earlier on we were saying the quilt is already going on pre-order. It's already selling on pre-order. If you haven't seen our pre-order section, go to sewingstreet.com, click on Watch Live, which will show you now. Click Watch Live. Hello, Tom. How are you feeling today? It's been a bit under the weather. And Hayley. Hayley, good morning. Full of cold. Oh, so we're glad to be watching you all morning. Thank you. So if you click Watch Live, there we are. Scroll down. Today's bestsellers, The Early Bird, pre-order. Now you'll see this section on the right-hand side as we get going with the show, but you will see all of the products from today's show. So here's all our creative grids. Keep going, keep going. All of the different bits and bobs that are going to be really, really useful for all of your creative grids. And then this is the quilt kit. You've also got a backing and binding bundle. You've got your spray adhesive. You've got everything that you might need. Waddings, things like that. Friction pens, marking tools, banana pins, your ways of basting. Then we've also got, look at all these lovely colours of fine friction pens. We've got the smaller rotary cutters back in stock. Then look at this! Right, launching for the first time. You do not want to know how excited Kat was about us getting a steamer in. She's been waiting for a steamer for so long. We've got, there's the Bellray steamer. It's amazing. I've steamed my my jumper this morning and it's so quick and easy. I love the hand vacs as well. I really want one of those for my kitchen. They're brilliant. What do you call your hand vac? Because Kat's saying she calls hers a duster buster. There's the knitting roll, by the way. Lots of people have been waiting for that to come into stock. We were supposed to be airing it about a month ago, so it's really exciting. So that's all of the product for today. That's everything that's going on. That's how you find it. Or, of course, speak to our lovely customer service team for free. For free, for free. Okay, where should we start? Yes, please. Let's start with the mini stripology, because this is the third stripology in the stripology sequence, in the stripology series. Where have we got? Oh, it's over on the, 1 second. No, it's all right. Let me just grab it from around here. Stripologies, no, sorry, I was just going to grab it. This is amazing. Right, so this is your Stripology Squared Mini. It's obviously a lot smaller than the other Stripologies that you may have seen on air before. And if you've already got a Stripology, I always remember thinking, I've got one, I don't need the mini. Whereas actually it was Victoria Carrington who changed my mind, and she said, no, honestly, they both have their purpose. So if you're working with full half meters, I'd absolutely recommend the Stripology Squared or the XL. This one is, I say, the third one in the Stripology series that they've produced that is directly sort of made for pre-cuts. So for your fat quarters, for your fat eighths, for any of your charm squares, for any your 10-inch, your 5-inch, for any of your scraps. If you do want to cut any of your smaller pre-cuts into strip sets or into the squares that you need very quickly and very efficiently, then this is brilliant. Now, like with the other stripologies that you may have seen, it also, of course, has the great sort of shortcut features that the other stripologies have. It also has the option of squaring up blocks up to 6.5 inches. Have I got one that's open? Just because I want to show you the bottom of this and what you can see, because some of the markings in this one is you can't quite see. They come with this little pamphlet. Now, Kat has been very, very organised, and she's kept all these, and she would laminate this. And I know that she's not in the gallery right now, but if she were, she was looking for my ruler for me, but if she were, she'd be telling me to laminate it. Yep, she's nodding. Laminate it, laminate it. This isn't just a little pamphlet that comes with it. This is your full instructions. So it will give you some great hints and tips along the way. So you can see here all of your instructions. Plus, Creative Grids have got a really, really great online presence. They're always uploading YouTube videos, lots of different tutorials, lots of different inspiration of how to use the stripology. So this is the Stripology Mini. Now, if you want to cut, just like with the larger ones, your 1/8 of an inch and 3/8 of an inch, your markings here are still every 1/2 inch increment. You've got the slots that your rotary cutter, pardon? Oh, we had an open one yesterday. Surely, it must be here. It's not on the desk with me, I don't think. 1 second. No, it's not. That's so strange, isn't it? We definitely had an open one yesterday. All of these slots here, your rotary cutter will slide perfectly into at every 1/2 inch point. The mini stripology has also got, can you just come closer, Elliot, please? Just because there's 2 dashed lines to the side here. So you can cut also every 1/8 of an inch and every 3, you've got the 3/8 of an inch marking as well. So for example, if you need a strip that's 2 7/8, you would find your 2.5. Shall I open this one or not? No. I'm just guessing where my 1, 2.5. It will have the markings obviously very, very clear at the bottom. So your 2.5 inch strip would be here, and then you would butt it up to the 3/8 of an inch dashed line, which is there. You make your cut anyway as normal through the 0, but then you would cut at the 3/8 of an inch, and that would give you a perfect 2 7/8 inch cut. It does have the turnaround feature as well. So if I spin it around, now you've got your 0 line, which has just moved over. So you can now do your 1/4 of an inch measurements, still obviously cutting in 1/2 inch increments, but it's now got your 1/4 of an inch increments. So if you want to cut 2.5 or 2 1/4, then of course you can then just butt it up alongside your 1/4 of an inch dash line and make your cuts accordingly. All of your squares, as you can see, are really, really lovely and clear. The solid black lines are for your full inch, 4, 5, 6. You can cut up to 6.5 inch blocks. The 1/2 inch blocks you can see here in white. And every single one of these squares has got dashed lines that run all the way through it. So let's just focus on the 6.5 inch white line that you can see running around the main perimeter. Can you see that it's got a white dash line? So you would line that up with your seams, and you can trim at the 0, then trim at the 6.5, spin the rule around, and then line it up again with the next dash lines on your seams, spin your block around, that is, and then cut again at your 0 and 6.5, and you would have a perfect 6.5 inch squared block. So it really, really does have a time and a place, especially if you want something that's less cumbersome going around your work desk. Especially when we could go out again and go to workshops and things, you don't want to be taking necessarily all of your you don't want to be taking away all of your massive rulers to workshops and classes. This is perfect. It's £36.99. So if you do want to have a go with stripology, I must say, we were talking about this with Susie yesterday, and she said on air, I know everybody, you know, doesn't enjoy the cutting. It's the cutting process that everybody finds really sort of strenuous and tiring. And it's actually eliminating the maths for you, and it eliminates so much time. It gives you the precision, it gives you the accuracy, which will end up giving you a better result on your quilt or on your project. So of course, not only can you cut strips, you can then spin your fabric round and cut your strips into squares, into triangles, into hexes. You can of course do lots of different shapes with the Stripology Mini Square. Sorry that we haven't got the open one. I have no idea where that's gone. XL sold out. The squared is sold out. Every single time they come onto air, they are very, 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 very popular indeed. How do I get the 10% off that's shown on screen, Vicky? I'm not sure why that's showing up. I'm ever so sorry, Maureen. It's supposed to. That was supposed to be for Black Friday. I'm ever so sorry. It seems to be appearing on the screen by accident. The knitting roll that we've got today, this one. This is called Catch Eve. Catch Eve Later, which you can see, this one is this colourway. Just so you can see if you want to pre-order on the web. Have a look at this open as well. Plenty of room to stock all of your essentials, things like all your different needles, your scissors. It's lovely, isn't it? For you crochet and your knitting. Okay, so your Stripology, £36.99. As I say, this is amazing value once again. Well done if you've got yours today. I don't know how long they'll stay in stock for, so don't wait too long. One of our favourite blocks to do as quilters, of course, is log cabin. We've got, this is the trim tool 2, is that right? Yeah, I've got trim tool and I've got trim tool 2. So let's do the trim tool first, because this one is basically to do your 8-inch block, and then we've also got the larger one as well. So this is to do an 8-inch log cabin. Now you can see what the log cabin looks like. That's your traditional log cabin. You can also do courthouse steps, which looks like that, and you can also do a half log cabin. Now, depending on what colour fabrics you use, these can look amazing. Placing blocks together to create different looks, you will see a lot of different ways of doing a log cabin. Depending on colours and colour placement, they will look amazing and very, very different. And yes, you can do a log cabin without a creative grid. Why is a creative grid so handy to have? 1, because of the time, and 2, because of the accuracy. So you start off your first round, and once you've done your first round, so you start with your centre square and you sew your strips either side of it. You then put it onto here, and then it will allow you to trim with your 1/4 inch seam allowance. You can trim along the top, and then round 2, again, you put your centre square here. Round 3, you put your centre square here, and this is for log cabin and courthouse steps. It'll also tell you, even though you've got your instructions in here, I love about creative grids is that you've got all of your instructions kind of on the ruler itself. So it says here, cut strips at least 1 3/4 wide. Centering square needs to be 2.5 inch. So it will tell you what to cut first, which is fantastic. You don't need to be too accurate as long as it's 1 3/4 wide minimum. Then you can do the trimming, of course, with that ruler. Can you see there's a frosted sort of section all around the edge, and there's these dotted circles? These are all non-slip grips, and they are built-in non-slip grips. Lots of quilting rulers out there, lots of quilting rulers you might find slip and slide over your fabric whilst you're cutting. Therefore, you might choose to buy some stickers to put underneath them. What I love about this is that there's nothing that's going to be sticky underneath onto your fabric. It's not going to scratch your fabric. It will still glide over your fabric beautifully, but as soon as then you apply pressure, it will then engage those non-slip grip properties. So you can do the log cabin and courthouse steps, and you can also do your half log cabin. The great thing about our new website is that we can also do reviews. So please, 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 on any of your products, please would you leave a review. I know how much I rely on reviews. I always search reviews on things. So if you do want to help anybody out with purchasing products, potentially for the first time, then please do leave a review. We'll send you an email after you you purchase your product or project. And this is how you leave a review. So in fact, actually, this is some of the reviews that we've had. So this is for the log cabin trim tool. Wendy Just what I needed, makes life very easy. Creative grids from Lynn are the best. Sue said they will add to my growing collection of these rulers. Not yet used it, but I'm sure you will love it, Sue. 5 stars again. 5 stars from Julie. I've not got to use it yet, but looks very, very sturdy, with all very clear markings on the fabric, and of course got the fabric grip as well. I'm hoping you've used it by now, because that was back in May, Julie, wasn't it? But they are very, very sturdy. They're not something you're going to need to buy again. Once you've got it, as long as you look after it, it has got that little circle at the top there. We hang ours up on a rack behind us, but as long as you're storing them flat or hanging them up with the little the little hole that's provided, then they will last the test of time. I know a lot of people who have, of course, started collecting their creative grid rulers. They're brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So, see the demo as well. Of course, you can scan the QR code on the front of the packet here. That's your log cabin trim tool. We've also got the trim tool 2. Now, the difference, all of your instructions, I should have just said, are all there. You have all of those instructions to keep you going, so don't lose that. This one is your log cabin 2. I love this ruler. Personally, this is the one that I would go for. Do you know why? Because you can do up to 12-inch log cabins, or you could do your 6-inch log cabins. So we've obviously got the ones that are in between. We've got the 8-inch as well that we've just seen. But this one, you can do the large one or the smaller one. Exactly the same principle as before. You've got your centering squares. It will tell you what cuts you need to do prior. It will also you can see very, very clearly your lovely markings and grids, very, very clearly indeed. And with this one, you can do the same 3 blocks, log cabin, courthouse steps, and a half log cabin as well. Changing the colours make such a difference. It isn't just those 3 blocks. If you've seen traditional courthouse steps or you've seen traditional log cabins, honestly, you can make such cool contemporary designs with this block, changing the fabrics and changing the colours. Very, very exciting. Okay, we're bringing you all the creative grids today. We're just doing a bit of a pit stop. We normally do sort of demos using one creative grid ruler. So have a look back on our Facebook or on our YouTube channel playlist. There's so many of our customers and so many of our guest designers that absolutely love it. And I must say, look, the great thing about my job and what I love about being here is that I'm not told at all to sort of promote a certain brand. I'm not an ambassador for any of these brands. I'm solely here. We try out the products and we will tell you exactly how they work. But we will sell different brands of rotary cutter. We will sell different brands of rulers and different things. And normally, if I'm being brutally honest, I don't generally have too much of a strong pull on one brand to the other. I'll tell you the benefits of both. Whereas with Creative Grid, I must say, I am a huge advocate, and most people that come into here, guest designers that come in here with a different ruler, will say to them, have you tried a Creative Grid? And then they don't look back. It's one of those, it converts a lot of people who have been using different brands for a long, long time. Especially when you're looking at things like the trim tools and the stripologies. I mean, it's a game changer for me because these aren't rulers. The reason they're called creative grids is that you can really, really get creative with them. And they are going to give you that precision and that level of precision. They're made by quilters, and you can tell. They're made by quilters, they're designed by quilters for quilters. So it has all of those finishing touches. Even things like round the edge, you've got your seam allowance, which is frosted. So that's a real quick access point to be able to just line up and check that you're in the right place. Love them. Thanks, Becky. The pun's brilliant, and I can't believe we missed it. So sorry about that. The team obviously hadn't seen that, so they're on it. They're on it. They're going to try and change it for you. We're very excited there, Becky. Curvy long cabin, curvy long cabin. Now this one is a really, really cool look because you've got the illusion of doing a big circle without actually having to cut or sew curves. They're all straight lines still. But look, it gives you the look like this, which is amazing. So this is your block. Put 4 blocks together. There's the top right-hand corner. Put 4 blocks together and it'll give you that. How amazing. It looks like you've cut unsewn curves, doesn't it? Which I know scares a lot of people. So this is your curvy log cabin trim tool. Have a look on Pinterest. Have a look at some of the things that you can create. In fact, look at this. This is using that same ruler, the curvy log cabin. Oh, see what I mean? You wouldn't believe, you know, when you start to see one ruler, you're thinking, oh, I'll be able to do one quilt with it. Whereas actually, no, you can do so much. You can do so much with it. And this is to do a finished 8-inch block. Finished 8-inch block. It will again give you all of the measurements, cut narrow strips at least 1.5 inch wide, cut wide strips at least 2 and a 1/4 inch wide. In here it will give you all of the instructions, but it will give you, you can see how with 4 blocks of 8-inch, you can piece together a circle. I mean, how incredible is that? Very, very exciting indeed. Very exciting. Let's do our normal one. When I say normal one, this one is the one that I would recommend to anybody who is just being introduced to creative grids and doesn't know what ruler to buy. This is the one that I would go for. This was the first ruler that I bought. The problem was actually, I made a mistake and bought the wrong size mat. So if you're getting this ruler, get a big mat, get a really good size mat, and you'll only need the one. You won't need to upgrade it. So that's an absolute must. If you're working with a rotary cutter and a ruler, of course you do need a mat as well. This is a 6.5 by 24.5 inch creative grid. So just going through the features again, the reason that I think this is a really good shape or size to start with is that you can cut the salvage off your half meterage, you can cut the full width of your quilting weight fabrics, which is 112 wide, without actually having to move your fabric or move your ruler. Can you see how many markings are on here? Now, for somebody who is new to creative grids, sometimes that can look quite daunting and it looks like there's a lot of maths involved, and actually it's doing it's the opposite. It's completely eliminating the use for having to use your brain too much, I found. So at the bottom, you've got your full inch increments. You've also got markings every 1/8 of an inch. You've got markings every 1/4 of an inch. You've got your 1/4 of an inch frosted perimeter, non-slip grip all the way around the edge and also through the ruler. It also has, if I spin it round, the turnaround feature, which now means that I'm working in 1/2 inch increments. So you've got 1/2 inch, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5 and 6.5. It's a lovely thick acrylic, so of course you can use this in conjunction with your rotary cutter. But all of those grids, so useful to be able to make sure that everything is nice and straight and everything is lined up. It's also got a 45 millimeter angle, and it's also got a 60-degree angle. So really useful measurements for quilters. What was that? Sorry, Kat. These will last the test of time. I understand they're an investment, and actually when I first started I thought, right, do I take the plunge and get a more, you know, a better quality ruler? And if you're working with a rotary cutter, if you're working with fabrics like your Liberty, it just takes one slip to have done the wrong size, and then potentially your fabric has to go into your scraps. Whereas this is absolutely brilliant. Pardon? If you find after years that your ruler starts to wear, Kat's telling me a trick of putting paper underneath your ruler. Have your ruler like that. Like that. If you can slide a piece of paper underneath it. Like that. Yes. Oh, if you can slide a piece of paper underneath it, then you need a new ruler. Good tip, good tip, good tip. If you need a new ruler, 23.99. I love Kat's tips impromptu throughout the show. We've got some reviews as well. We've got some reviews. Julie, no, you're going to need to read them to me. My squinty eyes. Not the cheapest item, but as soon as I use it, I could understand the price. It is amazing and such a time saver. So worth it. That's from Julie. Susan said, again, great product, great markings, easy to read. Elizabeth, new to sewing, are finding them great. Janice said, stopped the material while using under ruler. I mean, it really does make such a difference having that non-slip grip. It really does. £23.99. Keep your reviews coming. I know loads of you that have had these. I know loads of you that have got these in your workroom. So please do. Along with Jewelry Maker, look at how many reviews we've had so far. 97% positive, 98% positive almost, which is brilliant, isn't it? So you've got your 24.5 inch in ruler, which I absolutely love. Squares next. Squaring up blocks is always something that we need to do. If you want a nice big square, this is your 12 inch. Once again, non-slip grips, really clear markings throughout the whole of the ruler. Your turnaround feature, so you can work in full inch increments along the bottom and the side, or full inch increments again in black there. It's got the crosshair running through the centre, so you can line up your blocks with your seams and cut very accurately, very precisely. Squaring up blocks, this is ideal. This is a 12.5 inch, which is the largest square that we've got. Okay, right. Hi, Hayley. Thank you. Okay, she's saying my hair looks nice. My French plait. I know, honestly, it's so lovely to see people. We never see people. Or the only people I see is Kat and Elliot. They're my bubble. So it's really lovely. Every now and then, someone comes into the office, do things, and it's, yeah, Hayley's in today, which is lovely, exciting. Very exciting to see different people. Right, so this is your Creative Grid square. We've also got 2 other sizes. Oh, we've got reviews. More reviews. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, I'll come round to the front because this is a big one. Creative Grids are the best quilting rulers that are available, in my opinion. I bought a less expensive but still not cheap ones that all slip. I've applied those little grippy pads they sell for rulers, but the ruler is just too thick and there was a gap between the ruler and the fabric that moves when you're cutting. I always end up replacing them with Creative Grids. They are expensive, but you do get what you pay for in this instance, I find. Jane has said, love the size. And the fact that it's non-slip as well. It does make such a difference, Hi, Jackie. Jackie's messaging on Facebook Live. She says, morning, Vicky. I love my Creative Grids. Got quite a few now. They make cutting so much easier. Don't they just? Jackie, please, would you put us a review onto our website as well? Because we'd love to have all of your reviews up there. We also have the 8 inch. 8 inch and, oh, that's it for the squares. It's the same one, that's an 8 inch as well. So you can see, the great thing is, if you're using a dark fabric, you're going to be able to see those white markings really clearly. If you're using a light fabric, you're going to see your dark markings really clearly. So there's something for everybody, no matter what project, no matter what fabrics you're using, you're going to be able to see those markings. This is a lovely one. What was that? Sorry, did you say, Kat? Yeah, these are ideal for squaring up your blocks. Really handy squaring up accurately any blocks up to 8.5 inch. If you're using this, actually, do you know what I'd use this in conjunction with? The rotating cutting mat. It's all right. So, the rotating cutting mat. The brilliant thing about, obviously, if you're using one of the smaller rulers, I'll always say use a cutting mat that's larger than the ruler. I made the mistake. This is great for the mini stripology, for your 8-inch ruler, for a lot of the trim tools, to be fair, actually. If you're squaring up blocks, this is ideal. So if you imagine, you've got 2 layers to your rotating cutting mat. This one's got like a spongy back as well. So this isn't going to be slipping and sliding on your surface, and it's going to protect it as well. That top layer slots into place like so, and now it's not going to move around other than doing a full 360 spin. Now, why is that handy? If you've got a cutting mat already and you're thinking, right, do I need a rotating one? Is it a bit of a novelty or a bit of a gadget? No, it is brilliant. One thing I will always stress is when you're using a rotary cutter, please, 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 please do not cut towards yourself. We were only talking to Susie yesterday and she said that she cut herself on a rotary cutter. And you don't know how sharp they are until you nick the end of your finger, and my word, it hurts. Please, please, please be careful. I've seen some awful accidents with them. Don't be put off by using rotary cutters. Just use them safely. So we always say cut away from yourself. So in order to cut away from yourself, sometimes I found myself doing really strange, like yoga movements, like really strange, unusual angles with my body. If you want to be able to make sure that you're, of course, keeping in line and keeping safe when you're cutting, you want to be cutting away from yourself. So without a rotating cutting mat, you would have to move your ruler, change your fabric, move it again, reposition, realign, remeasure. Whereas if you've got your fabric there, you've got it all lined up, ready to go, you can simply make a cut here, spin it, your fabric and your ruler have stayed in the same place, and do a second cut again. Spin it, trim it, and move it. Spin it, trim it. I can do like a jingle for this, I think. Bop it, remember that? £32.99. Once again, it's another one that is initially a bit of an investment, but my word, it is so worth it. It absolutely is. Most of our guest designers ask about these, actually, ask to have them. And most of our guest designers ask to have them on the show, which is always sort of true testament. It's a really good one, isn't it? Pardon? Yeah, I think it's funny when, you see people using the rotating cutting mat and they forget to turn it. So obviously when our guest designers come in here, this is like the biggest toy shop for sewers. So they're like, can I use that? Can I use that? Can I use that gadget? But maybe they don't have a rotating cutting mat at home. So then they're like, oh, actually, I'm trying to do this, but I can spin it. What am I doing? Picking their fabric up. Like, you don't need to pick your fabric up. You can just spin it round. Oh, Sandy, I know, isn't it amazing? She says, loving the quilt behind you. Sandy, this is so much easier than you think. Alan asked what size the patchwork squares are. They're not patchwork squares, it's a panel. How amazing. How good does that look? And even I'm really close to it and I wouldn't be able to tell that it was not pieced. It's amazing. And they're still nice size blocks. Eileen, I'm so sorry. It is a mistake that keeps running onto our screen. It's nothing to do with us. We don't know why it keeps appearing. But that was for the weekend, for the Black Friday event. I'm ever so sorry. There isn't 10% off today. Sorry about that. Sorry about the mistake. Let's do Dresden plate. Delphine was talking about Dresden plate the other day. Once again, you can make such beautiful designs with Dresden plate. Let me open this out. In fact, Kat's having a look online on Instagram. Have a look for yourself. Look at that jacket. That's so cool. It's like Sashko, isn't it? We've got a Sashko show tomorrow. Curved edges or pointy edges. You can do these beautiful wheels. And of course, see the centre, you just applique then your circle on the centre, and you can applique the whole block onto a quilt. I don't know why pasta's there as well. And this, maybe it's to do with the plate. We've put Dresden plate. You've got a lot of pasta coming up. Oh no, don't make us hungry. We're going to start talking about food otherwise, aren't we? So have a look on the instructions here. So you can see, you can do this one that's got the circular edge. Using different colours again, it's going to look amazing. You've got this one that's got the pointy edge. Can you see the difference? This one's got curves and this has got points on the end. You could use it for the corner of a quilt, like that, or a corner of a cushion, just a quarter of it. Or, look, you can use the blades of your Dresden, like that shape, and rotate them round to create like borders like this, quilts like this. I mean, they'll look completely different like that. Kat's thinking you could use it for, it'd be very long bunting, do you know what I mean? Be quite nice, wouldn't it? A bit different. But then you also do have here the circular template as well to use for the centre. Now, if you were to do a full Dresden with this, it's is it 18 degree? What's the size? So it'll tell you there, look, if you want to do a certain block, if you've got a certain block, it will tell you finished block size, finished size of plate, which is the whole shebang, and then size of cut segment. So it will tell you what size is to cut as well. It's got all of your full instructions. What was that? Sorry, Kat. Up to 21 inches, up to 21 inches without the point or curve. Brilliant. So you can see all of the cutting instructions are in your little pamphlet. It looks just like a little leaflet, doesn't it? But don't lose it because that's all of your instructions. Oh, I love them. Ellen said, my husband has bought me a creative grid ruler for Christmas. I only ever used them. I mean, that's amazing. I'm so excited, Ellen, for you. Which one are you getting for Christmas? Sandy said, wow, it's a panel, Vic. I thought it might have been made up of a charm pack. Yeah, me too. Me too. And it wasn't until I saw the panel, I was like, hang on. Is this stitched in the ditch? It wasn't until Alison told me, and I love the detail of putting the buttons on, the applique. You can still have lots of fun with it, but let's face it, when do I ever say quick quilt? If you're thinking of a gift for somebody, housewarming gift, autumnal, just lovely wintry gift for someone, that, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful to, you know, sit and hand quilt or sit and do lots of different patchwork, but it takes a long time. It takes a long, long time. Whereas if you are starting out, or if you do just want to make quite a quick quilt, this is going to be perfect. It's coming up in the next hour. It's on pre-order, by the way. It's already selling very, very well on pre-order, but if you do want to make the most of it, absolutely check out now. I was thinking, can we do the little I love my quilting friends? Talking of Christmas gift ideas, if you do want to send a loved one a lovely, lovely creative grid ruler, this is so useful. Now, it's small but mighty. What I love about this is it's big enough to be able to fit, well, it's small enough to fit in your pencil case, but big enough to still do lots of different measuring and cutting. So you've got every 1/8 of an inch, every 1/4 of an inch, and every inch here marked. And you want to know the most adorable thing? Can you see these hearts? They're non-slip grip. They are your built-in non-slip grip, and they are pink hearts. They're absolutely gorgeous. I just think this would make such a lovely present for somebody. Quilting friends, you can still use it in conjunction with your rotary cutter because it's a nice thick acrylic. Thank you, Kat. But look, how beautiful is that? To be able to keep in your pencil case. And it does have the different measurements, the different markings. I think that's every 1/8 of an inch. Every inch and every 1/4 of an inch. And then you've got, of course, here all your inch measurements. So if you are doing lots of half square triangles and things like that, this is going to be really, really fab, isn't it? It's going to be ideal. £15.99. Oh, I love this. We didn't launch this that long ago, actually, and it's already proven very, very popular. Please do write a review for us. We'd love to hear your review. Here's some. Patricia's left a review for us. So pleased with my Miniv Creative Grid ruler. Thank you. She says, it did arrive late, but you informed me of the day. Thank you. What a lovely little ruler, Wendy said. A must-have for a surprise family brand tub. Who knows? Who knows? Helen said, same quality as other Creative Grid rulers, but handy to carry around. Like the itty-bit measurements on the end, those 1/8 of an inch measurements are useful, absolutely. Wendy said, ideal for helping with EPP. Brilliant. Glad that they've come into use. And like you say, they're the same quality. It's not a novelty. I love the fact that you've got the non-slip grip hearts. It's just adorable. Absolutely adorable. That's 2.5 inches by 6 inches. From Creative Grid again. Lovely, lovely, lovely gift for somebody. Okay. Scrap crazy. This one is your 6-inch Scrap Crazy. You get loads of shapes in here. And this is to create, it even gives you, let me show you on the instructions, it even gives you a sort of guide here, which you could always copy this and colour it in and see what it's going to look like as your quilt. But it's going to look so, so cool, just to give you an idea of how you can place them together. There's more shapes though. It isn't just putting together this block. It's like a little jigsaw puzzle to put your triangle. You've got this shape, and this shape. And they've cut all of the dog ears off as well for you, so you're not going to have to do all of those different shapes. You've also got alternative shape options. So you can do hexes, like this. In fact, what's that shape? Is that a pentagon? 1, 2. No, it's not 4. Oh no, it is, no, you're right, it is 4 sizes, Elliot, you're right, that's 4 sizes, because you've got this as a shape as well, haven't you? Go on, what's this shape here? Pentagon, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think that's a pentagon. That's a hexagon. What we like, what we like. What are we like? We need to go back to maths class, don't we? I don't know any of those things. You know, somebody was telling me about, do you remember what pi equals? MC squared? 3.14. What? That makes no sense to me at all. At all. But why do you need to know about pi other than what meat is in your pie? Meat and potatoes. Right, there's some reviews. Again, we have to put our glasses on. Are you ready? Let's have a read of these. As usual for Creative Grid, the scrap one is brilliant. Very pleased as it arrived so quickly. Anita said, Creative Grids are fantastic. What more can I say? Lorraine said, Creative Grids are, in my opinion, the best rulers you can buy. The sew titles, I also purchased a really good quality. Jill has said, I have several Creative Grid templates and this one will make a great addition to my collection. We've also got Janella says, love a new challenge working on a design. That's the great thing, is that they are creative. You can make your own blocks. Gemma says, fantastic idea to use up your scraps. And Sheena says, great service. Thank you very, very much. Great value, fast service. Thank you very much. These are the lovely reviews. Thank you ever so much for spending the time to show them in. Right, we've got Allison Maryon, who's going to be joining me, and Lorraine has just messaged saying the quilt behind you is so lovely. The colours are really nice. Aren't they beautiful? Lovely warm colours, aren't they? And of course, with all the applique, and it's a panel. It's a panel, no piecing to do. It's amazing. Don't get me wrong, I think if you want to do it, you can cut up it and use them as sort of like a charm pack. I think to say you can't, you don't need to make the whole quilt. But it's going to be a brilliant, brilliant project. There's loads of you already checking out on it. So spend the next couple of minutes having a look on the website. Lots of you checking out on the knitting roll as well. Allison Maryon is going to be joining me in just a few minutes with a brand new design, her brand new design coming up right after this.
Facebook, Instagram and our email newsletter for more details. And if you watch us on Freeview, don't forget to tune into Freeview channel 72 from 8 AM on Monday the 7th of December.
Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw, and as a professional sewer, I really know how important it is to use a high quality thread. Well, you think about it. You spend a lot of money on your sewing machine, you'll spend a lot of money on fabric, and you'll spend a lot of time sewing. So why let your thread let you down? I know a lot of our designers and customers prefer to use Aurifil thread. Now this is a family business. It was established in 1983 and they're based just outside Milan in Italy. They produce superior quality threads for domestic and professional sewers alike, and they've achieved worldwide success with quilters, sewers, embroiderers and textile artists who all appreciate the versatility and the strength of these threads. It's all made from Egyptian cotton, which is grown just at the side of the River Nile, and Aurifil only use the long staple threads, which gives their thread that strength. Each one of these threads goes through 15 steps before it even gets onto a spool and then comes to you to use in your sewing projects. Now at Sewing Street, we've collaborated with Aurifil and we've brought you two collections of threads. So we have the Quilters collection, and these are exclusive to Sewing Street. We've done a lot of research with quilters and these are the colours that you prefer to use. So we put a whole collection together for you. The second collection is the Essential collection. So this is for the homemakers, for the bag makers, for the craft sewers, for the dressmakers. And again, these have been proven to be the most popular colours that you're going to use. So if you want your projects to last longer and your seams to be stronger, invest in some quality thread.
Hi there, my name's Allison Maryon and I'm thrilled to be joining the Sewing Street family. I live in Staffordshire where I run a couple of sewing groups and I have a passion for vintage sewing machines and also applique. I've stitched in some form for as long as I can remember, but I absolutely love teaching and helping people stretch their skills and hopefully demystifying some of the techniques that can be quite daunting for beginners. So I'm looking forward to meeting the team and getting into the studio. See you soon.
Are you ready? I predict a sellout on this one very, very early. There's loads of you who've already checked out on pre-order. Well done if you've already got it. Are you ready? This quilt that was behind me in the last hour is beautiful. Okay, your graphics are live. Go, 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 go. You have got your instructions, which are exclusive to us here at Sewing Street. They're written by Allison Maryon, so you know that you've got that quality in your instructions, really, really clear, thorough instructions, your pattern, It's got all of your photographs and all of your instructions, which we will go through with Allison. You've then also got, are you ready? How exciting is this? Your panel. Now, honestly, even when I was sitting there as close as I was, I would not have known that this wasn't all pieced square by square by square by square, which obviously takes a lot of time. Whereas this, because our team are amazing and have done this pre-printed panel for you, it's a good one to practice your quilting. It's a really good one to practice your quilting, because quite often actually, you know, if I've done a whole pieced top, I think I don't want to ruin it with my quilting, so I just end up doing straight lines. Whereas if you had this, you can really experiment with lots of your different quilting ideas. So with maybe some rulers, if you want to get into ruler work, or if you wanted to practice free motion maybe. If you do want to do minimal quilting and just, oh, can you tell I'm out of breath? This is huge. It's going to be the most beautiful quilt, because look at all of those patterns. All of these have been colour matched and positioned so perfectly for you. The different prints are beautiful. I know a lot of people who actually struggle to be random. We were talking about it yesterday with Susie. She says, I just can't do random. Even if it's random, it's still actually placed. This is all done perfectly for you. Some people are sort of born with it, I think. You either can do it, or, thank you, Kat saying I'm getting a lot better. But I really, really struggle to put colours together. And I end up spending so much time, too much time, trying to work out what colours look right next to each other. Oh, look at all of these prints as well. I don't know whether you can see, Elliot, but all of these beautiful colours. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of some of the colours that we had in the Liberty collection yesterday. Those mustard yellows, those deep navy blues, those deep fern greens. So autumnal. It reminds me of a lovely, you know, comfy sofa. This is definitely one to snuggle up round a fire on the sofa. It's just beautiful. And if, look, I know a lot of people haven't always got the time necessarily to be doing lots of big quilts, whereas this is going to be brilliant to be able to gift for somebody if you don't have much time to do a whole quilt for them, but still adding that that personalisation. We've also got some great top tips from Alison. So all I'm going to say today is for anybody who is thinking, do you know what, I can't do big quilts anymore, I struggle to scramble around on the floor, putting them all together, all the blocks together and doing the actual quilting, we've got some top tips for you. So half the stock has already gone. If you do want the quilt, please check out now and get ready for Alison's tips. You can make the quilt, you get the instructions and you get the panel. Plus, I haven't even told you, you also get these lovely, lovely buttons as well. You also get your lovely buttons. You've got the applique parts, so your leaves which can go all over your squares if you want. You can put them around the border, you could put them in the corners, you could put your buttons on, there you go, you can put them on 4 corners. And I learned something new today. So those of you that are a bit scared of quilting, the quilting process, you can sort of do hand quilting. So you can just do some of the ties that Alison's done, and also the buttons count as quilting. So as long as your pieces are all sort of joined together and it's not going to move around, that's also counted as it. So I just love it. I love it. And as I said, this is a great one to practice your echo quilting, practice your free motion on it if you want. It could almost be like a quilting sampler quilt. Some free motion, a bit of ruler work, a bit of echo quilting. As your quilting grows and expands, I'd definitely label this. And so then you can almost see the progression of your quilting as you go along. This is lovely. And I'm thinking as well, you can still personalise it. You still have the choice of where do you want your applique leaves? Do you want more of them? You get loads on the panel. Let me show you. You have all of these on the panel here. But if you do want more of those, Alison's also going to give us a technique of how to get more of these. If you've got scraps of green or burgundies and plums and mustards, they look beautiful. You do get a pack of buttons as well. I was going to say you could embroider onto this. I think, you know, some of these patches that are beautiful like this, you could do some lovely lazy daisies and French knots just to give it even more texture, or have names. You could embroider somebody's name and make it really personal, which would be beautiful. I love that. Oh, Kat's saying this could be like a guest quilt that, you know, people sign it and then you embroider over the top of it. That's a lovely idea. I just think it's so warming. I think that's why we're all feeling quite fuzzy and sentimental with it, because the colours just take us to a beautiful log cabin with a roaring fire. Oh, hot tub outside, that'd be amazing. We've got very limited quantity on this. In fact, I predict it won't last the hour. No, it won't last the hour. Kat's just told me the actual quantity. If you want it, please, please, please check out now. $39.99 is such an amazing price on a quilt as well. I understand, look, if you're starting out, if you're a bag maker or you're a dressmaker and you think, I want to have a go at a quilt, I want to have a go, and you think, right, £80, £90, £100, even over £100 sometimes, is a lot to sort of stretch to start your quilting journey and have a go, dabble in it. So this is such a great way to try it out, see how you get on. And don't get me wrong, right, I'm going to throw caution to the wind here. Yes, we're going to show you a great way of doing this full finished quilt, but there's nothing to say that you couldn't cut these into the squares and have them as... How big are these squares? I should measure them really.
They're 5 3/4.
5 and 3/4.
It looks 5 once they're quilted.
5 once they're quilted.
Is it 5.5 once it's quilted? 5.5.
So, you know, when you're looking at you can make sort of like your 5-inch charm pack. I mean, if there's other projects, if you just love this colourway, there's nothing to say. It's your fabric, it's your kit. You can cut this up and do what you want with it. But then you've always got your pattern. So, are we ready? We've also put together a 3.5 metre. By the way, that is basically sold out. If you do want it, be quick now to check out. This one goes so perfectly with it. Now, normally, I don't think we've ever done this. I don't think we've ever done a bundle for your binding and backing, which I absolutely love because it's going to be a really quick quilt. Normally, we'll say, right, spend the time piecing it, and then you can come back, decide what colours you want to back it. This is going to be one of those that is not going to be a UFO. It's going to be finished. UFO, Elliot, is an unfinished object. It's going to be unfinished. It's in the wardrobe. We've had the quilt top done and you want to do it. So this is going to be perfect for your backing and binding, and it does just tie it all together perfectly. You're getting 3.5 metres. I know a lot of people are putting this into their basket, whether it's for Alison's project or whether it be for Christmas makes. Look at that gorgeous colour. This is beautiful. 3.5 metres, $23.99. I don't want to open it up to everybody actually because there might not be enough. I've got it here. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. Rose and Hubble quality, 100% cotton. These deep burgundies are beautiful, aren't they? When Kat's putting together bundles and putting together shows, especially this time of year, she says, we've hardly got any reds in stock. This is a lovely warm burgundy though. I love that claret. 3.5 metres is enough to be able to back the quilt and bind the quilt. That's what I say. I think this is going to be perfect for lots of people's Christmas prezzies, so for Christmas projects. Absolutely lovely. £23.99. Just wanted to let you know as the quilt is about to sell out. Shall we do the wadding? Because we're getting the whole kit, the whole shebang here, aren't we? We're going to get it, make sure it's all on one order so you get it home all at the same time. Now, there's lots of different waddings on the website, and we could spend a whole hour just talking about waddings. We've got wool, we've got cotton, polyester, 80/20, we've got bamboo, we've got lots of different waddings available. This one is polyester, which is lovely and lightweight. It's great to be able to chuck it in the wash as well, and of course it won't take too long to dry. £29.99. This is your queen size. Now, that's the size that Alison will recommend, is go for a queen size, and you will be able to do 2, in fact, actually. She says you'll be able to do 2. So you have plenty for your stash. £29.99. The 80/20 by the half metre, I'm sorry, is out of stock at the moment. We do have other 80/20. We've got wool in queen size on the website. We've also got, 80/20 just as a pack. And so we've got the queen size, which is $39.99. It's an heirloom brand quilt wadding. So if you do want to make the most of that, it's worth having a look. If I were you as well, something that's really good to look at is this section here. It says here that it's needle punched for extra stability and to avoid bearding. So with a lot of polyester, you can get what's called bearding, where the sort of fleece sort of seeps through into your quilt, whereas that's not going to happen with this because it's needle punched. And it also means that you don't have to do really dense quilting. You can actually stitch up to 10 inches apart. So some of the waddings, have a look, because you might need to do up to 3 inches. So you'd have to do a lot, closer quilting. Whereas with this, it's great because you don't need to do much quilting. Well, we've got some great tips. You can still do lots of quilting if you want. In fact, it's going to be quite lofty with the polyester, actually, isn't it? Wadding on the website, if you go to sewingstreet.com, go to haberdashery and notions. Wadding is just here. Click. I mean, there's loads. As I said, we could do a whole show on it. There's lots of different ones. As I say, the one that we're looking at today is the polyester queen size, but there is 80/20 if you prefer a cotton, which is lovely as well. Right, Alison, already absolutely flying out. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
I'm fine, thank you.
Jolly good. You're looking absolutely gorgeous. We love
thank
your
you.
dress. Love
Becky
it.
made my dress.
Oh, I mean, it's a real family affair today.
It is, yes, right, family occasion.
We've got
But she's not here.
going on. Becky's knitting roll.
Yeah.
We're really, really looking forward to launching because we've been waiting for what feels like months and months for it.
It was actually booked to be on the day before Yarn Lane was launched, but because of the printing issues at the printer, it had to be taken off and rescheduled.
Yeah,
so,
which is all fixed now. Our printer's all the printing is all now sorted. So that's exciting. Oh, I must also say it might just take. Thank you for your patience on delivery because of the Black Friday event. As you can imagine, there's quite a backlog of orders. So if it's a couple of days later. I'm really, really sorry about it, but we are doing everything that we can, and our warehouse team are working around the clock to try and make sure your orders are getting to you as soon as we can. Alison, your quilt is sold out.
Oh, goodness.
We
Thank
love
you,
it.
everyone. Enjoy.
and it's a really great project, I think, for any skill level, actually. Any skill level.
You've covered it quite well, really, because so many people enjoy the piecing, and people end up with quilt tops, like you say, bundled up into the wardrobe, and they think, oh, I don't want to spoil it by the quilting. So I thought, well, I had a quilt like this years ago. I was in Cornwall and I was a member of several quilting groups, and we had a challenge. When you're in the quilting groups, you have the challenge, mostly monthly, and it was to use up a charm pack, which you've already mentioned about charm packs. Make up a charm pack quilt, and the one that I did, I had a couple of lovely Moda charm packs, and I made up this quilt and I put the leaves and everything on, and last year I put it in my conservatory. Oh, what a mistake, because we didn't have blinds. We have blinds in there now.
Right.
But it bleached it all the way across one side. So if you look at the original quilt, there's a line where it's been bleached by the sun.
Oh, I never even think about that.
Yeah, when you're putting your really hard work into a conservatory, as I say, we've got blinds now. But I'd already said to Hayley about this autumn quilt. So because I couldn't bring that one in, Tom has done a fantastic job. I mean, obviously this isn't an exact copy because that just wouldn't be right. But
I know what you
mine
mean,
was
it has
smaller.
that traditional sort of prints and scales of print like you would see in a designer like Moda.
Yeah. And also new quilters, or should I say new patchworkers, don't always think that it's a good thing to quilt something that's a bit bigger.
Right.
So as this is a bit bigger than a normal lap quilt, I thought today I would go through showing you how to actually sandwich up your quilt and give a few tips on quilting, because obviously you don't have to.
I think this is a brilliant show because I don't think ever covered this.
No.
We do a lot of the patchwork, but it's quite daunting. The first time you finished your top and you go, right,
it's a bit
what
scary
now?
Really, and with something so big.
Yeah.
Because you can do it on a domestic sewing machine.
Okay.
You don't have to have a huge, great big machine. I'll show you a few things. But if you just want a really quick project for somebody, you don't even have to quilt it. If you've got the right wadding, your wadding is quite important. If you've got the right wadding, you don't have to stitch in the ditch. You'd have to have one that you could cover 10 inches. I think you said, does that one?
Yeah, that one's 10 inch.
I know that the needle...
Stitch up to 10 inches.
The needled one that's on the website.
This is needle punch as well, yeah.
Yeah, that one that you can buy
80/20,
half a metre. You can buy what...
Yeah, that one's
that's
sold
an
out
extra
at the moment,
wide one as well.
yeah.
Oh, that's a shame, because that's an extra wide one as well. But you could just button the centre. But because this has been stitched in the ditch, I would defy anybody to know that it hasn't been pieced.
No, you just wouldn't know.
Yeah. So if you want something to practice on, or just like you say, as a quick gift for somebody, it's perfect.
And it's affordable. I mean, $39.99 is brilliant. Well done everybody who's managed to get it. We've had a lot of questions about restocking it. We're on to the team. Hayley's here today, so we're on it. We'll do our best. We'll let you know. Right, so you also got some applique in there, haven't you?
I have, yes, because there was a discussion as to whether to actually put the leaves on, print them.
Yeah.
And then we thought, well, you do probably want to do something.
Yeah.
rather than just sandwich it together and go around the outside.
Yeah.
So yes, they're all separate on the panel. So we've got these here. They're all...
Oh, and they're lovely, aren't they? Lovely colours and patterns.
Yeah.
Which, if you think, you'd have to buy a lot of fabric
Yeah.
to be able to do this on your without the panel, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so you've got the full width of your leaves. There's enough leaves there to do what I've done on here. So you've got the 2 on each corner and then you've got the 4 in the centre. But you might prefer to leave them off the corners and put them all in the centre. It's entirely up to you. That is where you get your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but one other thing I was going to mention, that if you're new to quilting and patchwork and quilting, putting colours together can sometimes be a bit scary too.
Alison,
you don't know
I'm
where
really
to
bad
start.
at it. And I know a lot of people are just sort of, they just can do it.
Yeah.
They just are very good at putting colours together. And I remember my very first patchwork and quilting class that I went to, we went into the shop and they said to choose what fabrics you want to use. And I spent a good half of the morning going, I don't know what colours go right together. And it's different things like, as you go along your patchwork journey, scales of print make such a difference, don't they?
Yeah.
And even placing them, if you get a charm pack where you think, I know all these go together, but
when you're
sometimes
actually
not good at being
placing them
random.
out.
Yeah.
So Tom's done a fantastic job. I absolutely love it.
Love it.
So we've got our leaves, and we'll do the applique on the actual panel before it's sandwiched, because that means that you don't have to actually handle the whole quilt and the wadding to do the applique. So basically we've got an iron down here. It's a Bonder web. I wouldn't attempt to do these as a needle turn, there's too many points. So you just take your Bonder web. Anybody that, well, this is actually fuser web that I had at home, but anyone that hasn't done it before, you've got a glue side, and you've got your paper side. So that will go over.
Could you just come side to your left, please, Alison?
To my left. There we go.
Thank you.
Because I've got this big thing there, isn't it? So we're just going to fuse that down. I think we put the iron on, didn't we?
Are you on? You're getting a sneak peek of our new iron.
Oh, shouldn't I be using it?
Oh no, you've got the first.
Quite
you've got
amazing.
the first dibs on it.
So there we got the glue side down, and then we've got the paper side there.
Okay.
And then all you're going to do is just to cut round the outside, directly on the line. No tracing or anything, you just go directly round the line. Let me take this out of the way. And you're left with your leaf shapes.
Right. So you put them on the centre of the blocks and around the border, haven't you?
But you could leave them off there if you wanted and put them all on the centre. It's entirely up to you.
How many leaves are on there then, Alison?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
12, but you could actually always, if you wanted more.
Oh, you could, with your Bonder web, you could, trace around them and put them on a piece of plain fabric, the backing fabric.
Yeah.
You could use your backing fabric to add more in. Yeah.
That would look nice, because that would
Or you could just put your plain ones on the corners. I mean, it's choice, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Up to you. So I'll put those down there, because I've now got these ones that have cut out with the Bonder web on the back. Let's take this one over here now. It is quite a big one to handle, so that's why it's really good to show you in a minute how to actually sandwich it together.
Yeah. What do you normally do at home? Do you...
Well, I'm past scrambling around on the floor, so I'm not going to be on the studio floor on my hands and knees. At the point that you decide you're not going to do this on the floor anymore, I just can't do it. Lots and lots of research, YouTube and things like that, to come up with your own kind of way that works for you.
Okay.
So this is the way I do it. Some people work on an ironing board. I mean, my table that I use isn't as big as this, I must admit.
No. Okay, because I was going to say an ironing board, I would think, oh, it's just, I need to have a big workspace.
No, I mean, I wouldn't do it on an ironing board. I do use a table, but it's not as big as this. But I'll show you some of the tools that I've got to use and how we go about it. So I just need to scratch off the back here. So this, once you've peeled off the paper, because I love applique, this stuff is absolutely fabulous.
Oh yeah, you get through rolls and rolls of Bondo web, don't you?
By the roll, yeah.
So do we. We're at the moment sold out after yesterday's show with the Bondo web,
Yeah.
but we will absolutely, we've got it on reorder.
Yeah. So there we've got the pieces of fabric, and they have now got the glue on. Now when you place on your leaves, you want to be aware that you're going to take in 1/4 of an inch here when you're putting your binding on.
Right, yes, that's a good point.
So if I
leaves.
was to put that leaf up there, that leaf would actually end up going into the binding. You might not mind that, that's fine, but it's like we say, it's entirely up to you. So that, I'll put that one there, and put that one there.
I just love this. This is like the exciting part when you've done all your piecing and you're like, right, now here's the options to really personalise. Like we said, you could embroider onto it.
Yeah.
You've got your applique options.
I love Kat's idea of getting people to sign it and then embroider their names on. Wouldn't that be wonderful for a wedding quilt?
Oh wow, great idea.
Yeah. Get all your guests to sign the quilt.
I just think that's what this quilt makes us feel. It's a very homely colourway.
I think I need this higher. Where do we go to? Oh, there. That's why.
I potentially fiddled with it when I was playing with it yesterday.
It's very swish.
Oh, it is. And it's cordless as well. It can be cordless. You can use it normally like this. Or
yeah, I wasn't brave enough to use it cordless.
I'll show you later how you do it.
There's a clip, isn't there?
Yeah.
You have to, yeah. There we go. So that's all bonded down, yeah.
It has a nice little stand now, doesn't it?
Doesn't need to go on the floor and burn the carpet.
No,
sorry,
Debbie. No, Debbie, sure.
Sorry, Debbie. So now is your next choice. How are you going to finish this? On these ones, I've actually done a satin stitch around the outside edge.
There's a lot of different sort of shapes and leafy bits. So do you think something like do you think a blanket stitch is going to be too tricky to go around?
No, you can use a blanket stitch, but just do a narrow one.
Oh, okay.
Because what I do when I'm doing my test piece, because you always want to do a little test piece to work out what you're going to do, because I'm only going to sew today if I have enough time after doing the sandwiching. So it's not actually about the sewing, it's more about assembling and quilting, yeah. So this is my little sample piece, and all I do is I start off with my zigzag setting on the machine and then fiddle around with it until I get to what I think will be a nice satin stitch to go around the outside edge, and I ended up with a 2.5 width and a 0.5 length.
Right.
So that's what all these are done with.
And it does look lovely. I mean, you've used like a nice bright sort of, well, you've used a white, and on the plum,
yeah,
it looks lovely.
It's a cream. I mean, you could colour coordinate it all if you wanted. If you didn't want that outline, you could do it like that one in mustard and that one in blue. You could do it all in black, and then it would be.
Oh yeah, with black it would be quite dramatic as well.
But I've done it in the same colour as I've done the veins as well. So the veins. You can free motion this, but it's a big quilt if you've got a small machine to actually manoeuvre. So all of my veins on my leaves, they're random as if they were free motioned, but they're all sewn up, sewn out and then reversed.
Oh, okay.
And then sew back again. So you're actually using the reverse stitch rather than using a free motion.
So it still gives you that sort of doodled look.
Yeah.
Like
so you've still got 2 rows.
Yeah.
So that you get that nice look. But yeah. So on this one here, I would have started down at the end, and I sew all the way up there. Reverse to here.
Yeah.
Go out there. Reverse. Go out there. reverse. So a bit down, out, reverse, all the way until I get back to the start point.
That's a really good tip, yeah.
So you've got no turning of the quilt.
Brilliant.
It's all in the machine in that little area. You haven't got to handle the big machine. So that's the veining on there, and you've got your satin stitch around the outside edge. Now the majority of my quilts I stitch in the ditch because it holds everything together nicely.
Do you need a certain foot, a stitch in the ditch foot?
Yeah, we're coming to that. You don't have to have any of these things.
Okay.
You can. I mean, I always use a walking foot.
Yeah.
And I always use a stitch in the ditch. So you don't have to have those.
When you say stitch in the ditch, it kind of is what it says on the tin.
It is, yeah. You're going straight down in between where you would have pieced it.
Okay.
That is where you would have pieced. If you were actually putting it together, you're going to sew on that piece. Now, stitch in the ditch foot, I'll look there, look. You've got a piece of metal that's going down through the centre, which is the best way to look at it.
That's perfect.
There.
Yeah.
You've got the piece going through the centre, and that actually, let's choose one that's a little bit lighter. Let's do this one here.
Do you line it up then with the seam that...
Yeah.
Right, okay. I've not used one of these feet.
So we've pieced all this together. We've done an awful lot of hard work.
Yes.
Decided on our colours and pieced it together. So now we're going to, if you're going to stitch in the ditch, now as I said, I tend to, on the whole, do all of my quilts stitch in the ditch before I do anything else, because it does hold it all together nicely. So your foot, this metal piece is actually going to run down the stitching that you would have done. And you think, oh, well, I can do that with my needle. You can, but if you're looking at your needle going up and down, goodness knows how many times a minute, it's quite mesmerising because you're actually looking at the needle going up and down. Whereas this, you don't even look at the needle. You're going to follow this piece of metal. You're going to follow it along because everybody has a tendency to go one way or the other, whether it's because you're left-handed or right-handed, I don't know. But I tend to go off to the right. So this helps stop that. And as I say, you're not actually looking at the needle going up and down. You're just looking at the point of this here, knowing that your needle is going to follow that piece of metal.
And do a lot of the machines have these as standard? Did your new machine have it?
Mine does. Yeah, mine does. I'm so lucky. It's a fabulous machine. But some of them you have to buy them as an accessory.
Yeah.
I know you did a few weeks back.
We did one for Janome machine, didn't we?
Yeah, you had an accessory where it actually had two things. I think you could turn it into, you changed this piece of metal.
The plate, yeah.
Yeah, there's a screw on the side and you can have it either as a stitch in the ditch or I think a 1/4 inch foot.
Right, oh, that's cool. I'll have a look on the website. I
think it was a Janome one, yeah.
I think it was the Clearview Quilting Foot and Guide set. So it can be a 1/4 of an inch. Clear foot or stitch in the ditch quilting.
Yeah. Obviously, if you're going to do this without a stitch in the ditch, a clear view is preferable because you can actually see where your needle's going. But with something like this, if you're watching your needle, if you go off, it's too late. You can't stop it. Whereas this, if you see you're going off a little bit, your needle hasn't actually come off yet. Yeah. So you can correct it.
Just so you know, I'm ever so sorry, we can't do the instructions on their own because obviously they work in conjunction with the panel. We are going to try and get it all back in stock for you. There's a lot of people asking. I can't put a day on when. We're definitely not going to be able to today. On Sunday, we do have an autumn fabric hour. So it's definitely worth watching all of these tips and then, you know, you might be able to do something similar. Thank you, Alison.
So that's about the foot. So yes, you don't have to have that, but it's helpful. It's like all of these things. I mean, it's cost me a fortune watching this programme.
I know, yesterday, you didn't get dressed, did you, Alison?
I didn't, no. I was transfixed. Oh, the Liberty was wonderful and Susie did a fabulous job.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, and Delphine's elephant.
Oh, my word. It was honestly a day yesterday where we were just
It was amazing.
It was just the most amazing day.
It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So yes, I bought the mega bundle, the Liberty mega bundle.
Oh, you're so lucky! That's amazing.
Are
treat
you
to
myself.
It with Becky. No.
Becky likes Liberty, but she's more on the Knack side.
Right.
Yeah. When she graduated, you had a lovely big Knack bundle.
Yeah.
And we bought her that as a present for when she graduated. Yeah. So yeah, that's about the foot. You don't need it, but as everything, they're made to make your life easier.
Brilliant, thank you. We do have them on the website. I think they're £19. So, you know, for how much, if you are going to use, especially 1/4 of an inch, to be able to change it, I think that's really good value.
Well, and also, if you're putting off quilting, I know a lot of people have loads of tops that they've enjoyed doing and then put off the quilting. Anything that's going to make your life easier.
Here it is, by the way.
It's well worth it. Brilliant. Oh, that's it, yes.
So you've got category B and C, or if you do have the bigger machines, we also have for category D.
Yeah, that's why I can't put it on the machine, because this is my one from home and it's a category D. Yeah.
Right, okay. We do have the category
I was just wondering what... yeah, no, that's all right.
What was it you were wondering?
I can't remember now. It's gone. The picture went. So we've bonded these, and we're either going to satin stitch around the outside, you're going to do your veins, you could buttonhole, or you could free motion.
Okay.
There's no reason that you couldn't free motion around the outside edge. Because it's bonded down, it's going to stay in place anyway. And you can also do your ones in the centre. Now, on this bit here, I've actually done a few. This is another way of quilting to hold the wadding down, because we'll talk about the wadding in a minute. With this one, the easiest way is before you actually cut out your leaves off of your panel.
Yeah.
This is freezer paper. If anyone hasn't used it before, it's very similar to bond web, but it doesn't give a permanent bond. So I've traced around on the papery side, not on the waxy side. I've traced around on the papery side the leaves and then cut them out.
Oh, there's so many great uses for freezer paper.
Oh, it's brilliant stuff. And you know, you can even wrap stuff to put in your freezer.
Yes, there you go.
So I've cut out all the leaf shapes, and you can use them about 3 times. They work about 3 times. So I've cut out all the shapes.
Oh, do you know what? I do that anyway before I cut out my panel, because they're going to be useful for my stash for lots of projects, for bags and cushions. And
well, and once you've got your shape, you've got a template anyway, haven't you? So we're going to use this as a template.
Because it's got that sort of, it's not sticky back, is it? It's like,
no, it's like wax.
Waxy. You can iron it on though to your fabric, can't you?
Yeah, that's what I'll do here. What one shall I'll do it on this blue one, because I've got, what colour chalk have I got in my pen? Oh no, I've got red. So perhaps we'll go on this one here. I'll go on that one there. These are brilliant too, the chalk pens.
Oh yeah, we love the chalk pens.
Yeah, with the different colours. You can use a friction pen, but just because I've got that one here. So I'm with your freezer paper, you put the waxy side down. Makes a lovely mess of your iron if you don't, if you do it the other way round. I know. So this is stuck down now, so that just gives you a temporary bond.
And that's not going to leave any sort of sticky residue on my fabric?
No. Now if you wanted to, because this is going to be quilted through your sandwich, because you do this after you've quilted. I'm just going through all the quilting bits first and then I'll go to the sandwich. So you would do this once your quilt is sandwiched. So you can then just draw around the outside. And then that gives you, once you've taken that off, that gives you your template to actually sew round. There we go.
So then you could use that template again, stick it down and do the same again wherever you want them.
Yeah,
oh, great.
And then once that's sewn, as you say, got this one here, I've done this one here, that's the same shape as that one, and then you do your veins again. But you can also, like you said, echo quilt it. You could carry on all the way round. I mean, you could have your leaves around the centre and then just echo quilt all the way out. That would be nice. I mean, because this one here,
yeah, that looks lovely.
You could do your border like that.
Yeah.
So you could keep carrying on, bring that one and then meet them up, because you lose some of the definition as you go on, so you could then join that shape all the way through to the centre.
Beautiful. I mean, this is the great thing. I think even though everybody's going to get the same kit and the same patchwork top there, everyone's still going to be so different.
No two will be the same.
So we've got all of our applique, and you've done all of yours.
Done that.
You've done all
done
that
a
part.
stitch in the ditch. Now, if buttons aren't always for putting on when you've done a bad join. I know initially mine were.
Yes.
When I first started, I had a lot of quilts with buttons on, cushions with buttons on.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got a perfect join here.
Oh yeah,
you did
perfect.
A really good job.
Yeah, you can tell everyone, look at my points. That's it.
But these are just decorative.
Okay.
And there's enough in the kit to do each of the intersections.
Love that.
But the wadding that I've used here, the heirloom, that is a 3-inch quilt. Whereas that one and the needled one is a 10-inch. So they would be no problem at all. You could just go around. So
when you say that, does that mean the gap that you need to quilt?
Yeah.
Between?
Did I bring it with me? I might.
Which heirloom is that? It looks like a wall.
It is.
Oh, it's wool.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's the
What's
heirloom.
your personal preference on waddings, Alison? Do you have a personal preference?
I like the warm and whites, the cotton 80-20. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
But having said that, they are harder and heavier. This is so beautifully soft.
Yeah, that's
and
gorgeous.
It should wash lovely. I mean, because this hasn't been washed, and I like a lived-in look on a quilt.
I love it
so
when
I
they've
would
been
wash
washed.
that before I put it
Absolutely.
on the back of my sofa.
Yeah.
Because that's where my other one lived for years. So I was gutted when it came up.
You spin that round. You spin it round, and then we can see
Yeah.
on the overhead.
So
Thank you.
that's the one I've used, and as I said, I've been able to get both of them, the demonstration one and the sample one,
Gosh, brilliant.
out of one. But on your packaging, it's difficult because you're seeing through.
No, we can see that.
can
That's
see that,
fine.
can you?
If you just shimmy it to the left. That's it. We can see where it says here.
There
It's
we
all
go.
on different points. On mine, it says on the front, needle punch, stitch up to 10 inches apart.
That's right. Well, this one, heirloom wool can be quilted up to 3 inches apart.
So you need to do more quilting.
So you need more. Hence the ties in the centre. Now, if you didn't want to do these, because this really is for when it's laundered. I mean, I wouldn't worry if it was just going as that on my back of my sofa. I would just leave it like it is if I wasn't going to wash it first. So I thought, oh, well, I can put these in and that will marry up with the tied-on buttons.
Like tailor's
no,
what
they're
was
just
it that you've
a
done?
granny knot.
Right.
So needle through, back up, and then granny knot with some embroidery skeins.
Nice.
I
I think that looks really beautiful.
Yeah.
It almost gives it like that sort of hand quilted finish, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, if you haven't stitched in the ditched, stitched it in the ditched, you can put your buttons in, and you've still got your distance there. So yeah,
Absolutely.
it's an embroidery skein, just tied. I might have time to just show you. Yeah, and then just a couple of granny knots.
Oh, brilliant.
So
I've got it here. There's your embroidery skein. And this colour is going to go perfectly with all of the colours that are in the quilt
it's
as
lovely.
well. It's only £1.49. There's plenty of colours on the website, but that one's just £1.49. The wadding that Alison was working with, the wool, queen size, just so you know, if you have got it in your basket, we're very, very limited. This is what it looks like. This is the heirloom washable wool wadding. It's queen size, which is enough to be able to do.
You'll see in a
3.
minute. Yeah. Oh, I just clear this away.
SKZW 20. Thank you.
Right, let's get all these bits out of the way, because now we'll go into, I don't know whether I'm brave or stupid doing this, because so many people have so many different ways of doing this, but this is the way that works for me.
Well, absolutely, and I think that's really, really good to show, because like you say, you've got to find the way that works for you.
Yeah.
And there is no right and wrong in doing it. I think there's a lot of different ways. I've watched so many different YouTube tutorials, different ways.
Yeah.
I love
and this is big. It's considered a big quilt. So, as I said, no more scurrying around on the floor.
Could you do it on a bed? Or do you need it to be a...
I wouldn't. No, it can be a small table. You'll see in a second. It can be a small table. With your 3.5 metres, your backing takes 3 metres and your binding 0.5 metre. So you need to cut your 3 metre piece of backing in 2 and then join along the selvage.
So 3.5 metres, is that going to be enough to do
the backing and the binding?
Would you have a bit to do some more applique potentially, some more leaves? Or does that use all of yours?
Oh, you'll have bits and pieces from around the outside edge. You'll see in a minute. It's a good size. Okay. Yeah. But you're going to join it together. Because the fabric isn't wide enough, you've got to turn it round and make it bigger than the actual piece that comes off the bolt.
Okay, so we've got it in half.
So we've got that there.
Do you pre-wash your fabrics?
No.
No?
No. Never have.
Do you press it before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've also pressed the batting under a tea towel on a medium heat, not a high heat, because when it's compressed in those bags, and when it comes out, I did leave it for a couple of days in the conservatory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did press it because you do need to find the centre.
Yeah.
And to do that, you don't want it all crumply.
Yeah, but you don't need to pre-wash your wadding.
No. Right, before we start, I'll just show you some essential quilting tools. We've got a roll of masking tape, some bamboo skewers, some cycle clips, and some clamps.
Right, okay.
All available at one of those shops that sell everything at the same price.
Okay, yeah, yeah, we know. Cycle clamps, what are they for?
Cycle clips.
Yeah, what are they?
They use Velcro now, but you used to put it around your trousers so that your trousers didn't get caught in your chain in your bike.
Oh, no way, there you go. I've never seen those before. Oh, fab. So, right, how do we use all these in quilting? The
first thing you have to do, whatever size table it is, it can be quite a small one, whatever size table it is, you need to find a centre for your quilt, because I like to work centre out.
Okay.
Some people like to work edge to edge, but I like to work centre out, because when I've actually got this sandwiched, I'm going to roll it up and work outwards from the centre, so that I've only ever got half of my quilt under my sewing machine.
Right.
So we do need to kind of get a cross in the centre. So we've got my trusty bamboo skewers here. So I'll just use that. You can see they're bent, but that one
well used.
Yeah.
Well used quilting tools.
Do it that way, and then it'll. Oh, my tape won't stick to the surface. This is going to be fun. So we're going to make sure that that's lined up.
Who taught you this tip, Alison?
Oh, on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, oh, I can't get on the floor anymore. Well, it's not getting on the floor, it's getting up. Getting up afterwards. So we're going to then, we're going to have our cross in the centre. I might have needed parcel tape, but I thought that would leave a gooey mess on your...
It's strange that the masking tape won't stick to the desk, isn't it?
I've brought the big roll, so that's just to hold them in place to start off with. And that's come off, look. So this is going to be a guesstimate now. No.
Oops, do you want some parcel tape?
No, because it'll leave a mess on your surface. And
Elliot even says he doesn't mind cleaning it.
No. That's all right. We'll work with it. Yeah, that's not going to stay at all.
Here we go. Look, that's...
What about the goo?
What table do you do it on then, Alison? Do you do it on your dining table?
My dining table, yeah. And I suppose...
And it sticks on that. Ours is very sort of new, glossy.
Yeah. Well, it's not shiny, is it? It's got like a bubbly effect as well. I suppose it's about, yeah. Not as big as this.
Oh, no, I really want to see this. So, yeah, no, just go for it.
Right, OK. So, because of time now, because of that, we're just going to guesstimate this.
But you'd measure and get a centre point of your table. If you can find the end.
Yeah.
Well done, that's good. It normally takes me ages.
That's better.
There we go, that's better.
I should imagine you can see where I'm going with this, can you?
No.
Or can you not?
No, I can't, can you? Everyone at home probably knows. Maybe.
Right.
It's good to see though, isn't it?
Now I've got a raised area here that I can work my centre from. The centre of my quilt.
Right. Yeah, we're still going to have to go through, explain. Kat's going, you still got to explain to me. I still don't know what
Where
you're
are
doing,
we?
Alison.
Right, yeah, it isn't going to take long. Oh, it's over here. So I've pressed and marked my first layer. So obviously this piece, my join, that's obviously my centre because that's where I joined it. That is going to go along that skewer.
Right, so open your seam and rest it on the skewer.
Now at home, so I know that because I've done that at the right angle, I can then clamp that on there.
Oh, that is good.
And then I would do the same on the other side. I haven't got an end there on that one, so if I can just...
Could you use a weight or something to just keep it flat? Pattern weight or something. Or hand sanitizer. Yeah. We've all got a lot of that, haven't we? Use what we have. Tin of beans or something.
Yeah. So
you just want to make sure your backing is flat, don't you?
Yeah, that might fly off.
Nice wide desks here as well.
Yeah. And I'm just going to go around here a second. I won't actually... That's it. I would clamp it on all four pieces because this was too wide for my table. So obviously my table ended about here.
Right.
So this was hanging over. So this was clamped and that was clamped.
Okay.
I'll take that off now.
Then you get your wadding.
Then with the wadding, this is... This is obviously right side down on the table because we're working up from the bottom. And something else that makes your life really, really easy is 505 spray. And obviously I'm not going to do that in the studio because it's not, you're going to use quite a bit of it and we don't have a window we can open. So
do it in a well-ventilated area. Do you spray it onto your fabric or your wadding?
I spray it on the layer that's on the table.
Okay.
So that's going to stay still. So I'll show you actually. I brought this. This is from the next show. But for anyone that hasn't seen how 505 works, you know, it just holds stuff in place so lovely.
And is that temporary adhesive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, having that on your quilt, that holds your layers together. But I do the double whammy and I pin as well.
This is the 505 Eau de spray, which is your temporary adhesive. As Alison has said, just spray in a well ventilated area. You don't need to keep spraying until you see the spray, do you?
No.
Just give it a light sort of coat. I think it says on the back how far away, 25 to 30 centimetres away. Give it a spray. It's great for things, even like Bondaweb actually. If you're out of Bondaweb and you want to do some applique, it's good to hold things in place just temporarily like that. Definitely worth stocking up on, because when we have it in stock, it disappears very quickly. It's just $7.99. We don't have any roundup to do anyway, Alison, so
oh, that's all right then. No, it won't take. This won't take very long at all.
You also use the curved safety pins, don't you?
Yeah, that's my double whammy. But with your quilting, wadding, I don't know whether you can see that there. If I put that down.
Oh, have you marked
I've halved it and I've just done tacks so that I know the centre.
Right.
Okay, now I had it folded because you work from quarters. So I would spray a quarter and then put down the wadding.
Quarter by quarter.
Yeah. Reclamp, then spray another quarter and take that over. And here's where your skewers come in, because you can tell that everything's lining up because you've got a raised area on there.
That's really handy, isn't it?
So then we'll have 505 again. And then this one comes over and you've got your line there. So because you've got 505 spray, you can reposition.
Yeah.
If it's not right, you can reposition. So there's your batting. So that would come down there, there, and there. Feeling as you go for your skewers. And then I've pressed the panel so that we've got...
Alison, how about the part that's hanging over the side of your dining table?
Yeah, we'll do that in a second.
So you haven't 505'd that yet?
No.
You're
just working on what's on the top.
Right, so you would carry on to put the top layer on before 505 in the other half?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you.
So I've pressed this so that I know where the centre is. Here's the centre. So feeling for the skewers again. That's there.
I'd jot down today's date if I were you and watch the show back when you come to do any of your quilt sandwiches, because this is a really, really good sort of tips to know if you don't want to be scrambling around on the floor.
There goes another one.
We're down to what? No,
because this is a kitchen worktop as well, isn't it? So it's extra thick. So now that's all stuck down because I'd have 505'd that down.
Yeah.
So I've now got a lovely sandwich.
Nice.
So probably this might be hanging over the edge as well.
Yeah.
And I 505'd all that. Then, because I'm a bit belt and braces, I do pin as well.
The banana pins are great. They're safety pins, but they have a curve in, so it means that everything stays flat.
You can see on that there.
Thank you.
So it's easy to put them through your quilt.
Yeah.
If you have any trouble and you've got difficulty like that, just leave them until you've actually finished covering. I had these when it was on one of the early birds.
Oh,
I was desperate for some new ones.
They are great. These are so easy. You get 150 of them. We've got loads of different sizes. Do you have a personal preference on size, Alison? Because these
are the larger ones. I bought the 2
mil.
packs, which had the small ones as well.
Yeah, there's 28 millimetres and there's 38 millimetres.
For a little cushion or something like that, that you haven't got a lot of layering to do.
They're the larger ones, 150 of them. And as you can see, they have, oh no, these are our new ones. They have like a curve. They are the reason they're called banana clips. I think our Hayley, in fact, she says, what a banana clip.
On my email, when I said what I emailed to say what I was going to be using today, and she said, because I put banana banana pins.
Yeah.
And she highlighted and said, what are these?
It's because they're shaped like a banana.
Curved quilting pins.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, now all this is 505'd and it's all pinned down. So that section is finished.
Okay.
So I'll lift that up now, because if you've got trouble doing, I mean, I don't have any trouble because I've got nails, so I can pull that. But you can just leave them in undone and then take them off. So now all you're going to do...
Literally got a couple of minutes, Alison.
We're done, because that's our next bit to be done. You just carry
Slide
on.
it down.
Yeah.
It'll all be adhered.
Just carry on. This will be adhered here to here. So you can just fold this back. 505 that piece.
Yeah.
As I said, 505 isn't essential, but all these things are made to make life easier. And if you're worried about any quilting or anything like that, you haven't done it before, you've put your quilts away because you think, oh.
Alison, so how much of a gap do you leave around the edge of your quilt top? You see how you've left...
I wouldn't cut that back. I would cut this back to about 3 inches.
3 inches round?
Yeah.
Because when you're quilting, it kind of shrinks in, doesn't it? So you don't want to cut it all in line.
You don't cut it to the right size now, no. But you can see there's quite a bit left over there. So if I cut that to 3, if you wanted to do any of the leaves, you have got leftovers.
Absolutely.
And then you've got the same this side.
Yes. And then obviously you do quilting, which we talked about before, and then bind it.
Yeah.
Brilliant, which we've done. I know that you've done some lovely binding demos in the past as well. Pauline's messaged in. Hi, Pauline. Thank you. Look at this.
Hi, Pauline.
Hi, thank you, Alison. This is the best demonstration I've ever seen. I always struggle at this stage.
Thank you, Pauline.
Said brilliant.
Do have a go. Oh, and she's in Cornwall. We're in Cornwall, Pauline.
Oh, there you go.
Cornish lady. Becky's in Cornwall.
Please, please, please do, of course, jot down today's date, and you can watch today's show back on YouTube at any point. We've also had, we've had loads of messages for you. Brilliant demo on making quilt sandwich. Thank you. Carol's message saying what a brilliant demo this morning.
Oh, lovely.
Sandy, wow, Alison has done a great job demo on the quilt panel this morning. Loved watching.
Oh, thank you. You wouldn't believe you could fill an hour with a piece of printed material, would you?
Well, we did it. That went after the first 15 minutes. It sold out.
Yeah, so anyway, you just carry on then and go to a different part of the quilt. Because you've got your centre all done, that's all stable.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much. I think this has been invaluable, hasn't it? Really, really useful indeed. We shall see you at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
And you said you're really nervous about it.
I'm so nervous about this one.
Why?
Because it's Becky's and I want to do a good job.
You will do an amazing job. And I'm sure like Becky is so excited as well from home. We've corrected the pun, by the way. It's now catch you later, as in U-E-W-U. Thank you, Becky, for pointing that out. But yeah, we'll see you in an hour, Alison. Thank you very, very much.
No stick, Elliot, never fine.
We've got the knitting roll coming up with Alison, which is already selling on pre-order. Please, please check out on that nice and early, because I think today's both projects are going to be sellouts. After the break, we've got new products launching. Had a really good play with these yesterday, and we're so excited because they are absolute essentials. Absolute essentials. We've got all of these Beldray products: irons, vacuums, a steamer. You've already seen the 2-in-1 iron that Alison was using. We're going to have a good look at that in depth in just a couple of minutes. So do not go anywhere. I'll see you right after the break. While we're having to spend more time at home again, we're here to keep you busy and entertained. Sewing Street will be live every day from 8 AM, bringing you plenty of demonstrations with our experts in dressmaking, quilting, bag making, toy making, needle felting, embroidery, and so much more. Our community of fellow sewists on the Sewing Street fans Facebook group are there to chat to you about whatever you're making, sharing photos and advice. Check out the Sewing Street Facebook and Instagram pages for fun competitions and offers. Watch Sewing Street on Freeview 74, Sky 670, or our YouTube channel and search Sewing Street TV to find us on social media. Have you heard about Yarn Lane, a TV show dedicated to knitting, crochet and all things yarn, bringing you demonstrations from our expert guests as well as the latest tools? Watch us on Freeview Channel 74, Sky Channel 670, or on our YouTube channel. And find out what's coming up on the show by following us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our email newsletter or visit the programme guide on our website at www.yarnlane.com.
Hi there, my name's Allison Maryon and I'm thrilled to be joining the Sewing Street family. I live in Staffordshire where I run a couple of sewing groups and I have a passion for vintage sewing machines and also applique. I've stitched in some form for as long as I can remember, but I absolutely love teaching and helping people stretch their skills and hopefully demystifying some of the techniques that can be quite daunting for beginners. So I'm looking forward to meeting the team and getting into the studio. See you soon.
If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page. Hello, welcome back to Sewing Street. It's lovely to have your company this morning. What an amazing demo. Do you know what? It's inspired me now to finish some of the UFOs that I've got that are up in my wardrobe. So if hopefully everybody else is thinking, do you know what? Come on, let's do it. Alison made that look really simple and easy, and it should be. So we look forward to seeing her knitting roll as well back in the next hour. Right, are you ready? I'm so excited about this, really excited. And I don't know who's more excited, me or Kat. I always use the iron every morning when I come here, and we have been saying, we need to get a steamer. I nearly actually bought my steamer here because I use mine all the time. Obviously, we hang quilts up to show. We do lots of dressmaking, and they are so handy to be able to have. Obviously, pressing. It's almost as important as your sewing machine to have a good iron in your workroom. And it's the first time that we've had a big iron as well. We obviously have the Prim Mini iron, which we love, but having a big iron is so exciting. We also have vacuum cleaner. So, which one should we start with? Let's start with our Duster Buster. Now, no, it's not a thing, Kat. Kat's like, can I have confirmation, please, that this is called a Duster Buster? This is your Beldray wet and dry hand vac. I absolutely need this in my life. This has gone onto my drop me a hint, I want one for Christmas list, because I want one upstairs, one for my car, one for my kitchen, maybe one in the garage. This is so handy. One, it's so lightweight. The amount of times, I must say, my Hoover is heavy. If you've got quite a weighty Hoover, things like going up the stairs, I'm, fingers crossed, moving house soon. And I have lived in a flat, in an apartment for the last, well, since I left home. So I've never had a house with stairs. And I know that doing stairs is a nightmare with a big Hoover. Having something like this for your stairs, having something like this for the kitchen to get into the crumbs around the toaster, having one of these to get the cobwebs up in the ceilings. These are absolutely brilliant. Of course, we also know if any of you are lucky enough to have a she shed or a craft room, or if you are doing any of your crafting in the dining room or the kitchen, you end up with threads absolutely everywhere, don't you? So to be able to just have a lovely little handheld vacuum cleaner, you're calling it a Duster Buster, I'm calling it a vacuum. Can you hear them like howling, laughing at me? It also comes with the wall mount. So you can put this onto the wall and it will plug in and be charging away, so you don't need to worry about having it wired to the mains when you're going around the house trying to get all of the cobwebs or bits and bobs of thread that you tend to lay, that you tend to sort of drag around the house. I know I do. So you can just take that nice and easily off the wall mount. It's obviously plugs in there. It's really nice and slim. It's not bulky. It's not going to take up loads of space, which vacuum cleaners do. They take up lots of space. So if you are thinking of a space-saving one, my friend's got one just on the back of one of her cupboards in the kitchen, and she absolutely loves it to get right into the nooks and crannies in the kitchen on the surfaces. So it's obviously got this clear sort of tank here, which obviously will keep all of your dust and dirt. It's got a washable filter in there, and it's got about 20 minutes run time, which is plenty of time. Uninterrupted cordless power of up to 20 minutes. So it's going to make a bit of noise now, but I've made a bit of mess this morning with all of my, Allison's made a bit of a mess with all of her threads. So nice and quickly and easily, and actually it's really quiet for a vacuum cleaner, isn't it? To say we're on the telly, a vacuum cleaner would probably be quite overpowering with my microphone, whereas that's absolutely fine. You'll be able to fit, well, you can see 500 millilitres of dust before you need to then change it, whatever that means, and then click the button. You've got the filter in here, washable filter, and obviously you can just take that out, empty it out into the bin, or back onto the desk, so I have to vacuum it again. It also comes with another couple of attachments. Where are those couple of attachments? We were playing with them yesterday. Let me just get this back up, 1 second. Bear with me. There we go, that's better. So it also comes with 2 further attachments that can go onto the end of the nozzle. So you've seen on the box it says wet and dry. You can actually clear up wet spillages as well. How amazing is that? So let me have a look and see if they're in the box. You are getting, they might still be outside on the desk, you know, Kat. No, they're not in here. You get your instructions, obviously all of your instruction manual, but it's really, really sort of self-explanatory. It's perfect for it. So you get 2 further attachments, which I can show you in the instructions. Sorry, we've definitely put them somewhere, haven't we? We've been playing on them. This is one of the ones, one of the attachments like this, and this is to get into those hard to reach areas. How about for the car? How about to get in down to the side of the sofa, the nooks and crannies in the sofa? This is going to be perfect. It's to sort of really focus on, you know, getting into those nooks and crannies. And there's also one that's like a silicone that goes onto the end, and you put that onto the end of your nozzle. It's like a silicone rubbery end, which will then be great for all of your wet spillages. Kat's thinking that she's put it in one of the boxes somewhere. So we'll find it throughout the show, because I'll have a good look through the other boxes. She says, I've tied it away too well. It's lovely and lightweight. I think it says here it's only less than 1 kg, in fact. It's less than 1 kg. So it's lovely and lightweight. Okay, you might know what this means, or if it means anything to you, I want to let you know that it has 4 kPa suction power, which is brilliant. It gives you a swift clean-up for hard floors, for carpet, for soft furnishings, for things like pet hair in the car. This is absolutely brilliant to get down into the, you know, the compartments at the side of your doors and things like that, that you just want to get into those concentrated areas, which you wouldn't be able to get your vacuum head into. Yeah, what about cupboards? I opened one of my cupboards and was clearing it out and thought, gosh, my shoe cupboard needs a really good vacuum. Can't fit my vacuum into it. This would be absolutely perfect. I am dropping a hint because I want one of these for Christmas. Do you get to an age where you put a vacuum on your Christmas list? Shamelessly. It's things like irons, and I said to the guys earlier, I need a new ironing board. I want to make an ironing board cover, saying I need to get some Thermalend to make one. Gets to that point where you think, actually, do you know what? I get really excited about things like opening a new iron and opening a new vacuum cleaner. But especially one like this, the 2-in-1 functionality that you can do wet or dry spillages. Absolutely brilliant. For me, it's a game changer that it's so lightweight. You can literally reach up to be able to get any cobwebs in the corner of your rooms, to be able to go over. Does anybody else get dusty blinds? If you've got shutter blinds that are, what are they called when they open and close like that? Not Roman blinds. Not are they Venetian blinds? Are they called wet Venetian blinds? When you they slot up and down. Anyway, they get lots of dust all layered up. So just to be able to go over your blinds, and things like I watched how clean your house through this lockdown. And they were saying things like your headboard, you just need to give it a good vacuum. It gets ever so dusty and you're sleeping there. Should be vacuuming. Your mattress as well, Kat's telling me. Now, we had a bit of a look on the Beldway website. Have a look on there because you get lots of great information. But also, we did have to question our pricing. If I'm being brutally honest, we did have to call the management and say, right, this has all arrived. It's great. We love it, love it, love it. But have we put the right price in? Because look at how much it is on the website. This is on Beldway's website, $59.99. And you can see there, spillages, like wine, any dog food, wet food, anything that's wet, you can vacuum it up. You can also see the picture of the nozzles. So you get the one that's really going to focus in on those hard to reach areas. 20 minutes of uninterrupted cordless power. So there's the one nozzle that slots into the end of your vacuum really, really easily. And there's also the silicone one that fits in as well. Brand new in today. A third of the stock has already gone. We're going to keep this on hand. I must say, Elliot, he loves doing a bit of vacuum in the morning. Every morning, Elliot comes round everywhere. He says he does love his vacuum and he goes round everywhere. But this is going to be fantastic for those, as I say, harder to reach areas, and the fact that it's cordless as well. Brilliant. I've got a cordless vacuum, but if I'm honest, I don't have the wall mount up because it takes up too much space. I've got it in a cupboard. So this wall mount is tiny. It's tiny. So you could put it in a really slim cupboard, you could put it on a wall, you can put it down the side of somewhere and it's going to fit fine. So there's nothing more frustrating, and I understand if you've got a cordless vacuum that's not charged, it's really annoying. So to be able to just know that every single time you come to use it, you've already got it on that tiny wall mount and it's charged, ready to go, is fantastic. Christmas gift ideas. Christmas gift ideas, as I said, I understand, look, it isn't just for crafts, but it's very handy for us crafters. If you're a jewellery maker, you could put a pair of tights over the end, get all of your beads, suck up the beads, and then you save them. That's a really good idea. There you go. I know a lot of people who, do lots of different hobbies and lots of different crafts, and especially at the moment when we're around the home, does anybody else look around and think, right, actually, I need to organise that cupboard or I need to do that? If anybody put their Christmas tree up at the moment, are your needles dropping off the tree yet? Or we've got an artificial one. And every year, oh my word, I spend ages picking them all up because our vacuum has got one of those rollers that won't pick them up. Whereas this, it is just pure suction. Pure suction. Kat's saying her hair gets everywhere, so she has to vacuum her bedroom 2-3 times a week. It isn't my hair, it's my husband's hair. Mike Kieran, those of you, I must introduce you to him one day. He's got really long, curly, crazy curly hair. So he is worse than me with hair everywhere. Oh, honestly, I've got hair envy of my husband, which is rare, isn't it? But he has got amazing hair. So, $29.99, brilliant price for a great quality vacuum, wet and dry hand vac. Way over the half of our allocated stock has gone. It's the only vacuum that we have available on Sewing Street. It's the only one. And I must say, our buying team, Paul and the team who are in the office today, they really, really do, think about what goes on air. There's a lot of different ones that could come on air, and it is something that is do you need it? Don't you need it? Should we put it on? Should we? And we were that confident that we thought, do you know what? This is so handy. This is so, so handy. It's $29.99 as well. So we've been able to negotiate a fantastic price at $29.99. So this is your Beldray hand vac. If you're thinking about it, don't wait too long, because there's a lot of people who have got it in their basket and a lot of people have already checked out. I don't think they're going to be available by the end of today, just so you know. Absolutely love them. So that's your wet and dry hand vacky. Right, which one? Sorry, the iron. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I have got a feeling that this is going to be a repeat of what always happens with the Prim Mini iron. Whenever we get it into stock, it disappears. And I am going to tell you, wait till you see the price. I have no idea how we've managed to negotiate this. How much do you think that you're going to pay for this? How much is the Prim Mini iron? Is it $39.99? Great price, $39.99. And it's a brilliant product. It sells out every single time it comes to air, but you will understand why I'm about to say that this will sell out today. I honestly think our price is wrong. So, this is your 2-in-1 iron. What I absolutely love about it is, one, it's got the rest, the iron rest. So, Debbie Shaw, we had a little problem with a little burn on our carpet because of the iron. This is fantastic that you've got it as an iron rest here. Now, the best thing about this is a steam iron. You can use it, of course, you can change the dial, you put your water in as normal. It's got the spray. It's also got the steam. It's got an anti-drip feature as well to avoid any leakages. It's got the dial here so you can change. It also actually tells you, because I sometimes, before I came to Sewing Street, I must say, I obviously knew about different heats and different settings of your iron, but I wouldn't know on what would I use what heat unless you start looking really closely at all of the tags of everything. But here it says to use it with linen or cotton, synthetics, and it's got your off button, so it's all really, really clear on that dial. Water spray. Get out stubborn creases. You've got your steam button. You've got the tab here, which clicks down and secures, really secure, which has a 300 milliliter water tank, which mean that you'll be able to do lots of ironing without having to keep refilling. I normally iron until the water runs out and then I say, right, I'm done ironing now. But for pressing, we talk about pressing a lot. And yes, the mini iron is fantastic when you're doing smaller blocks and opening seams. But if you're ironing things like quilts, if you're dressmaking and you're doing lots of ironing, maybe you do want a bigger iron. Now, before I tell you the best feature, can I just show you the price? Normally, as I say, this should be $59.99. It's on the Beldray website. Easy. Today, it's $29.99. I love the base. It's so stylish on your ironing board, on your surface. It's well away from everything. And you can also lock it in place. So this middle button here will lock it in place. So now that is connected. That is connected to your base. So if you've got little hands or paws or anything like that, or you're just scared of knocking it, you can lock it into place with a simple button here. You can release it very, very easily by pressing it down here. I want to get one of these for my mother-in-law. She owns a B&B and every time I go around, she's always stood there ironing. And this is so good because it's really powerful. It's so affordable. And actually, look, you can obviously do all your steam and all of your ironing as normal. You can use it with a cord. Yes, long, nice cord all plugged in. Or, are you ready for my favourite feature? You can lock it in place. It's now attached to the base. You press this button up. Oops. Press it right up like that. There's a button underneath here which will release. And that has become completely cordless. Is it hot? Yes. It takes how many seconds to charge it? 5. 5 seconds to charge it, and then you have how long to use it, Kat? I think we're having a look. There was so much information yesterday. So it's ready to use in 25 seconds. It's recharge in 5 seconds, and then you have a lot of time to do all of your ironing, basically. I'm not sure whether I know exactly how much time, but it stays hot for a long time because we had this yesterday out in the office playing with it, and it does stay hot for a very, very long time indeed. So you've got plenty of time to do ironing. Do you know what I'm thinking? Anything that you've got hanging, like curtains or quilts, anything, you know, if you've got blinds and they've got folds in them, you can then take it on the go. And of course, you got your steam. You have also got your steam as well. So if you are thinking, right, actually, I just want to give a jacket a little blast of steam, cordless, remember, as well. How amazing is this at $29.99? It's another one. It's going on my Christmas list. Remember, drop a hint to somebody, but be aware that it is limited now. It's gone into baskets. It has gone straight into baskets. Your cordless, effortless Beldray vacuum. Now, of course, we always use an iron on air every single day, every single guest, whether you're a dressmaker, whether you're a quilter, whether you're a bag maker, whether you do toy making. Every single guest designer uses an iron. I remember Debbie Shaw saying that it is almost as essential as your sewing machine. An iron is absolutely essential part. Pressing will make your results so much more professional. Now, whether you have this as your crafting iron or whether you're having this as your home iron, then this is perfect. Remember, you can now use it as a corded, up to you, corded iron. Press the button, slot it back into its base, press the button to lock it. Push it up, release the button, cordless. It's so easy, and actually, do you know what? It is really, really strong. So I've got it on at a setting number 2 at the moment, and it's still, got fantastic steam. You also have, are you ready, the water sprayer. Oh, you can't see it as well, but it's just giving it a lovely, fine spray mist. It's just making a mess, making the table wet. But when you get your Sewing Street delivery in the post, you know, over in the next few days, and it's all folded up, your fat quarters that have got those stubborn creases. I said to Alison, do you always press your fabrics before? She says I don't wash them, but I'll always press my fabrics before I start sewing with them. Can I remind you, £59.99 was the price point on the Beldray website, and we actually said that we thought that that's brilliant. And then we looked at our graphics and we said, oh no, our graphics are wrong, our price is coming wrong. And then we spoke to our buying team and they said, no, we've got an amazing relationship with Beldray, and we've been able to offer a brilliant, brilliant price. It also has, I want to tell you about the ceramic sole plate. So at the bottom, at the base, the main iron itself is a ceramic sole plate which glides smoothly. It glides smoothly to remove your creases. So you can use it cordlessly after charging it just literally for 5 seconds. The button here is also, this is cool, self-clean. How many people at home look at the state of their iron? Because I didn't realise, I remember somebody was telling me about how to clean your iron, and I hadn't even ever looked at it. I hadn't even looked at the bottom of mine, and I looked at it and thought, oh my word, limescale galore. Whereas with this self-clean button, sometimes when you pump the steam and different, you know, you can have a lot of brown or dirt from a little white or calcium from from the water. Then you get it on your white shirt or on your dress, and it's really annoying. Whereas with this feature, which is this button here, the self-clean button, basically it, what am I trying to say? Cleans itself. It cleans itself. So it has a anti-limescale feature, it's anti-calcium feature, reduces the limescale build-up. I know if you've got different hardnesses of water, of course, all over the country, so you're more or less likely to get more limescale the harder your water is. So if you are travelling with your iron, it has different types of water in it, or if you're in an area that, of course, you have harder water and therefore more limescale. This is brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Right, problem. They have completely sold out. We knew this would happen, but they are completely sold out. Please go on to a wish list. Please, please, please go onto the wish list. I'm going to unplug this now just because I don't want it to get too hot. Now, so, finally, we've left this till last because we have the biggest quantity. And I think this is something every single one of us should have. I adore my steamer. I think it is absolutely brilliant. This is great because it's nice and lightweight. You can have loads of water. I had one a few years ago that had a tiny little section that was on the front. It was a Philips one, and you could put like the tiniest amount of water that was enough to do a jumper or a dress, and then you'd have to fill it up again. What's brilliant about this is that you've got your maximum level there. You can see how much water when you're at your maximum level. It clips off. You don't need to worry about trying to struggle to get it all under the tap. It's got a little plug here. So you then put your water in, fill it up to your max line, plug it in. Do you want me to show you again? So how that comes off. So that literally just slots into place like this. Sorry, slots into place. Unclips, as quick and easy as that. You've got your plug, of course, fill up your water, nice cold water, close it up, put it back in and let it heat up. So, I've plugged it in, I'm ready to go. The light has come on the back. Oh, I still haven't told you the price, by the way. We should open the graphics just because everything is selling out. $24.99. So you can see the light is on. When the light goes off, it will be ready to steam, or it will do something else, won't it? I think it will flash. I can't remember. Or maybe the light means it was ready, because this has been on for a while, hasn't it? Should we give it a go? Yes, it's steaming already. Look at that. Can you see? So, it comes with all these attachments. I'll try and hold it up so you can see the power of the steam, because it is brilliant. You get so much steam out of these to be able to do, as I say, curtains, blinds. I love just giving everything a bit of a steam, like my bedding. Even between washes on my bedding, I give it a steam and it freshens it up so much. Freshens it up, freshens up your sofas as well. If you've got a fabric sofa or your headboard, as I said, I've got a thing at the moment about cleaning your headboard because I didn't realise how much bacteria can live in there. So it's really good to just give it all a good steam, and it kills bacteria. Steam is a great way of cleaning things. So also, can you see here, this is the button that you're obviously using to hold it in. Now, do you ever sort of get trigger finger when you're holding something in and it can become quite painful? So there's a button, you slide it down. Now that is hands-free, constant steam. That is just steaming away. So then now you can focus it wherever you want. I've got the head on it, which I would use in on my sofa actually, but you don't need to have that. It's lovely and lightweight for a quite big steamer. I must say, it's not the smallest steamer I've seen, and it's really, really lightweight. So, at the bottom here, can you see, you've got the little flick here. So, you've got that little button, take that off. This one has got your brush, so you can get nicely into all of your upholstery on your sofa. This has also got a lint brush. So if you do find that you get a lint build up on your coats, maybe some woolen coats that tend to, I've bought a new, I've got quite a nice scarf actually, but it leaves bits on everything. Not my bamboo scarf, I'm still waiting for that to be delivered. I've got, oh my gosh, I went a bit crazy on that bamboo show. I've got the bedding, I've got more bedding for Christmas presents. I've got a bit of a bamboo addiction, I think. I did go a bit crazy. But this one scarf that I've got leaves so many bits, so this is so handy to be able to get through all my coats, my smart woolen coat, that I just want to give it a good steam before I go out. And it's got the lint brush, which is very, very handy. Let me open up, because there's another attachment that comes with this as well. I wonder if our other attachments from the other one are in here. Do you know what? There's nothing in here either. Comes with a jug. Oh, no, there's no other, sorry, I'm getting confused with the vacuum, I think. This is the attachment that comes with it, so you can use it with or without. So if you're doing things like garments, where you don't need to get into those nitty-gritties with the brushes, just use it as it is here. Just use it as it is, as your steamer. Sorry, with my top in the way, you can't see the steam, but it's absolutely lovely. We're going to have a steam room in here, aren't we? It's lovely. It's going to be lovely. Don't recommend having a facial with this steamer. And don't do what Kat was doing yesterday. She had a jumpsuit on and she started steaming the trousers on it while she was wearing. It's like, Kat, you are going to burn yourself. It's hot steam. Please be careful. So just be aware that obviously it is hot. What I love about it as well is that you're getting that vertical steam. You've got vertical steam, anti-scale, like with the iron that we were looking at. It has got the sort of lime scale protection on there as well. Oh, Kat's got a steamer, and she says it's basically like a little kettle, and it started to spit water. The water bubbles inside, and it started to spit water. Whereas this, my base hasn't got hot at all. The handle hasn't got hot at all. It's all just in the head. Obviously that's quite warm. It's not too hot to touch, but it is obviously warm. I do like the idea that you take, you know, the whole sort of thing. You don't need to take the whole thing over to the sink. You can take obviously your little jug, fill that with water and pour it in without having to put it all under the sink. It's got a nice big water tank. 260 millilitre water tank, easy to fill, fast heat up in 45 to 50 seconds, 12 to 15 minutes of continuous steam, compact for easy storage. It's also got a 1.9 metre cord as well. That slots in really quick and easy again. Sorry. There you go. Sorry, we're trying to multitask here. There you go. So you can see also that it will obviously that slots into play really, really easily. The fabric brush opens the weave of the fabric to get even better steam penetration. It's designed to iron, steam, refresh and sanitize, which I think at the moment, you know, when I know that at the moment it's difficult when we're going out and they say to, you know, as soon as you get home to wash your clothes and do everything. This is giving your garments, your coats and things like that a good sanitize as well, which I think is fantastic. Your steaming does, I always think, give you a real clean, fresh, beautiful, beautiful finish. It's a nice colour, isn't it? I do like the colour of it. It is like one of those Tiffany blues, I like that. £24.99. Lowest price point of the hour. The iron is sold out. The vacuum, I think, about to sell out. In fact, yet sold out. The vacuum's now sold out. The steamer, we will be using every single morning, guaranteed, here at Sewing Street. We're keeping all of these around. It's fab that it's got that lockable button as well, that trigger, lockable steam for continuous, lockable button for continuous steam. I know that Hayley always takes her steamer on holiday with her. She always takes a steamer. Kat said I took mine on tour with me. It's really quiet as well. It's not bubbling. It's not making a really loud noise. It's lovely. £24.99. No, I didn't know that trick. Kat said if you put your clothes in the shower with you, around the shower, so the steam drops the creases. Yeah, use one of these instead. Absolutely. I don't think, does that work? No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work as well as this would. It works all right on shirts, but you still wouldn't be able to sort of, you wouldn't go out after it, would you, Elliot? It's enough to drop creases, not get rid of them. Whereas this is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. This is your Beld Ray Multi-Steam Pro. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, in fact, we will keep you updated on stock, but that one looks like it could sell out as well. Just be aware, it looks like that could sell out as well. Now, we've got some friction pens. In these new, oh no, my water, might need to get my vac out. knock my water over. So these are brilliant. These are absolutely brilliant. I'm going to turn my iron on. 1 second. So we've got these new colours, which I absolutely love. Friction pens are brilliant. Those of you that have not seen them before, you've got blue, green, purple, blue, pink, black, red, all of these beautiful colours. And these are fine point as well. They're different to the ones that we've had in the past. So they're really, really lovely and fine. Now, these were actually developed for paper. So you can write on paper with these. Have not got any paper to show you, thank you. But they write like a biro. They can erase with the eraser on the end. A lovely fine tip. So if you do just want to do any documents, I don't know about you, but I always say, they say, right, if you want to write out the document, use black ink, and I'll guarantee to make a mistake. So this is really, really handy to have. It literally will write, we'll start with black. We're doing these colours different individually, so you can see I've written my name literally like a biro, and then you can also erase really quickly and easily. And then our favourite thing about this is that you can also use it on fabric. So if you're marking any notches, if you are marking any patterns, any applique, anything, if you just want to do a temporary marking on your fabric to mark your notches, or if, like we did earlier with your leaves, obviously be aware that if you put your iron on it, it's going to disappear. There's my leaf. If you're doing markings, if you're doing your quilting lines, if you want to mark out where you are, if somebody is signing it temporarily, I was going to sign my name, Vicky Carroll. If you sign it and then you want to embroider over the top of it, or if you want to have a temporary design. Now, you blink and you miss it with this one. So, using my iron, are you ready for this magic? So there you've got all of your markings. It's the first time this iron's been used for friction pens, and straight away it disappears. It disappears really, really quickly. Now just have a bit of a tester on it and check that you're happy with how it erases. Let's try pink. I love this colour. I absolutely love it. This is so pretty, isn't it? If you have just, oh no, I've folded it over. So that is a gorgeous pink, isn't it? So of course it is a temporary hold. It will stay in place, not like the air erasable. Sometimes air erasable, I find they do disappear quite quickly, depending on the condition, whether it be a windy day and you've got a window open, or if you've got aircon or anything like that, it can tend to sort of disappear. Wash away are also great, but you have to do a lot of dabbing or put it in the wash for your markings to move. Chalk, another brilliant way of marking, but again, I find quite messy. This is definitely my favourite way. Literally writes like a biro. Use it on your paper, use it on your fabrics. Just give it a test and you check that you're happy with how it disappears, but straight away, again, gone. So, let's colour. There's pink. Purple. There's a handbag on here. That's really strange. There's literally like someone's drawn a handbag. I'll show you. Someone has literally drawn this. I wonder whether... Just be careful, because some, on some colours they might leave a bit of a ghost line. So check that you're happy with it. Also, in extreme cold temperatures, the markings can come back. I think it's at -17. So if you put your quilt in the freezer, your quilting lines might come back. Or if you're taking it, the only reason we know this is because a lady who was entering a competition, who was putting her quilt into the hold of a plane, and her quilting markings come back, and it was a competition. So just be aware. Use it for the right thing. There's your purple, lovely violet, and again, disappears with your iron. How good is it? Lovely for stocking fillers. The green, oh my word, I'd definitely get the green. This would be lovely for writing out Christmas bits and bobs. Christmas cards, this would be lovely. This would be so, so lovely, wouldn't it? And of course, oh, this was supposed to be my holly. How do I draw it? There we go, bit of holly. I used to be able to, I used to do a reindeer really, really well, and I can't do it anymore. There's my holly with my red and my green. Sorry, the green's a lovely festive green, and the red. Has anybody else got a Christmas pencil case? Oh, these are lovely colours for Christmas. But of course, remember as well, they will disappear. There's your red, depending on what fabrics you're using, I suppose, or what colour you want, what colour you fancy. I know a lot of people who collect all of the different colours, so I'm pleased that we've got them back. It's still quite warm on my heat, so that's why I just did a couple of lines there. But again, just check that you're happy with how it erases. Completely gone. Final colours, we've got 2 different shades of blue. This is the light blue. Oh, that's a nice blue, isn't it? There's the light blue. For school, for university, for making notes, for erasing things in your diary. I've been doing so much of that this year. All of the plans that I had, I'm like, right, I needed to write this in friction pen because everything's scribbled out, cancel, cancel, cancel. It's so frustrating, isn't it? So then this is the darker blue, just so you can see the colours next to each other. The light blue and the darker blue. That's more like a blue biro. Lovely colours though, aren't they? That's the light and that's the dark. Erasing them on paper, literally with the eraser on the end. This is a nice fine tip though, so you could be able to do some really intricate sort of work. Or of course you can do it with your iron and remove them. £3.99, really good price as well. If you are already purchasing today, then add it to your order and you'll only pay £1 postage and packaging. And if you're only buying a friction pen today, remember, you're already done and dusted into the event that we're holding, the 12 days of Christmas. So everybody who shops for 6 days or more out of the first 12 days of December, you'll get free postage and packaging the whole of January, for the whole of January. So it's definitely worth tuning in. Or even if you're purchasing on the website, it counts as well. If you're purchasing on the web, so have a bit of a browse through the website, and each day if you purchase something, brilliant. Now, I told you we had some of our rotary cutters back in stock. Don't forget, our early bird from today is replacement blades for 45mm rotary cutters. And this one will work ideally with it as well. Your So Easy blades that we have as the early bird will work in conjunction of these. So this is your Clover 45mm blade. It's got a lovely soft grip handle, which is nice and sort of ergonomic. It's nice to know. It sort of relieves the pressure points on the certain parts of your fingers where they can get quite sore if you're doing a lot of, cutting. It also has the button here, which is a lever. Pull that down. That will then bring this part of the green down. So the blade isn't moving, it's just the green sort of shield that is moving. Now your blade is exposed. After every cut, get into the habit of just pushing that lever back up so it's nice and safe. You can see here it says R, which is for right-handers. You can, of course, can you change this over for left-handers? I think you can. Of course you can. So if you're using it like this, what I'd do is I'd use it like that with my right hand. Or I'd use it like that with my left hand. There's my ruler. Like that. I don't see why not. Am I being completely silly? Do you think my plastic's going to get in the way? That is for right-handers, isn't it, really? Right, let's have a look. Cuts fabric beautifully with just the right amount of blade exposed, whether you're upright or at an angle. Can be used both right and left-handed. I wonder whether you can change, there you go. So reverse the cover. To change it to a left-handed cover, all you need to do is reverse it. So this cover, this one, will flip over and then it'll have an L on it, so you can use it for left-handers. Oh, I see. And it does tell you how to reverse that on the packet. It'll also tell you how to how special cover makes replacing blades safer. So you can replace your blade nice and easily as well with this. All of your instructions are on the back, but it's your standard 45mm blade. We do have other sizes. Now the 28mm blades, I've seen Delphine use when we did the Tasha quilt for cutting out smaller applique pieces. If you are doing more curves, if you're doing smaller intricate cutting, if you're doing smaller pieces, then this one, sorry, is going to be handy. This is just £8.99. I've got one of these and I really, really like it. I use it for my foundation. Well, I say I use it for my foundation paper piecing. I have a go with foundation paper piecing every now and then, and that's what I bought it with the intention of using it for. I end up doing all of my sort of smaller piecing with it. That's really, really handy. And then finally, look at this one. Or was it this one that Delphine used for Tasha quilt? Which one did she use? The 28? Or I think she might have used the little Diddy one. This is amazing. This is your 18mm. It's for intricate and delicate cuts. So it's really nice and slender, but it's still easy to hold and control. You can get the replacement blades for this. In fact, we do, I believe, have them. Yeah, we do. We have the replacement blades as well. It is still perfect to be able to cut. As I say, if you're cutting freehand, I always get a bit scared cutting freehand, if I'm honest. If you're wanting to cut lovely curves just with your rotary cutter, using a bigger one scares me. I don't know why. But using a smaller one, I find it less daunting to do freehand cutting without a ruler. So that's very, very handy indeed. Nice for little, if you're doing dolls' clothes, things like that, smaller projects. Very handy indeed. It's, again, you can transition this for left-handers as well. You can actually change the cover for it to be able to be used for left-handers. All three of them. £9.99. Go on, what is it? Yay! We got the replacement blades! The blade changing tool, the replacement blades for the 18-inch. Which ones do you want to do first? 18mm, not inch, 18mm blades, which go in conjunction. So those of you that have got this rotary cutter, if you do want your little blades, you get two easy to change and replacement blades. These come in and they go. We can never have enough. We can never have enough. It's always good to have some spares, isn't it? All of your instructions are on the back. £6.99. Just £6.99. Amazing, very exciting that they're back in stock. And they are from Clover. They are from Clover. We've still got the, £6.99. Just so you know, the launch of all those Bellway products, vacuum sold out, iron is sold out. How are we doing with the steamers? Still a few of the steamers. If you do want the steamer, absolutely make the most of that whilst you can. Okay. Oh, can you imagine an 18-inch rotary cutter? I know, Christine. I know. I wouldn't want to do that. Fiskars! Right, we've got the blade change. We've got the blade changer tool, and we've got the. No, it does come with a rotary blade in it. So basically, this is where your blade will sit. Where is it? Oh, it's coming around. Robots are moving. So this is where your blade will sit. It will come with a blade. I took it out and haven't replaced it. But you put your blade in, well, it will already come in. Hold it down. This is a really lovely cushioned pad. So those of you that struggle with gripping onto rotary cutters or scissors, things like that, this is really handy as you're just using a very, very small amount of pressure from your shoulder or your body weight, which will then expose the blade. We've taken it out for safety purposes. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Kat. She said I've taken it out for safety purposes. She's just covering me because I took it out and I forgot to put it back in. It's also got a stopper on the end. So it comes as a 2-in-1. This is a great quality 45mm blade, and this is a really great quality, lovely ruler as well, which is a very, very useful size, 24-inch in length and 6 inches wide. So very, very useful to cut all of your full width of quilting fabric. Now it has got the stopper on the end, so I always say never cut towards you. It's got that safety catch on the end so you won't cut towards you. Press down and you can cut really, really smooth, clear cuts with all the way to the end. It's got a stopper gauge on the end as well, so you're not going to be going over the edge. Really quickly, really precisely, and really accurately and easily. It's Fiskars, so you know that the quality is there. It has also got, on the other side, you can see a really, really lovely high quality cutting ruler. It's again thick acrylic. It's one that's going to last the test of time. It's also marked very, very clearly with both black and white markings, plus lots of other angles as well for quilters: 30-degree angle, 45-degree angle and 60-degree angle. It's in inch increments. You've got markings every 1/8 of an inch there as well. And of course you can turn it around, whether you be left or right-handed, whether you're doing it this side because you're right-handed, or whether you're spinning it round and using it this way. You've also got the markings here for left-handers. So really, really handy indeed. They've thought of everything. Can I just mention, today at 12 o'clock, Rebecca Reed, she's just nipped into the studio to get some of the Nitty Critters projects, and they are amazing. At 12 o'clock, if you're watching us on the web, tune over to www.yarnlane.com, because look at what we're launching today. 12 o'clock, Rebecca Reed and Nitty Critters are going to be here for the whole hour from 12 to 1. Here in the studio with Yarn Lane, our sister show. If you love knitting and crochet, oh, if you're thinking Christmas presents, I've already got the elephant. I ordered the elephant this morning. I absolutely love it. And whether they're ready-made, I'm not making it. My friend, she's a knitter and she's amazing, and she absolutely would love these. So if you do want any of the lovely Nitty Critter kits, just wanted to mention them because it's going to be a brilliant, brilliant show later on at 12 o'clock. As I say, tune over if you're watching us on the web. It's still on Freeview and Sky and everything. You're fine. You don't need to change the channel on the telly, but just be aware if you're watching us on the web or on Facebook to tune over to Yarn Lane. So this is the blade changing tool, which is fab value for money because you get 5 Fiskars 45mm blades, which is brilliant value for money, as well as the easy to use blade changing tool. This one's in the packet, so I'm not going to open it, but basically in conjunction with any of your Fiskars rotary cutters, you spin this off, take it off, don't touch the blade. The attachment that it comes in that is magnetic. This orange thing comes completely off. You would be carrying the orange part, not your blade. There's a section on the back which says old blades, which you can store it in. You then slide this up. It will release your next blade. You get your orange part from your Fiskars cutter, plonk it on. It's magnetic. It will take it again. So $29.99. But I must say, for the fact that you're getting 5 Fiskars blades, it's like you're getting the changing tool for free in my mind. It's brilliant value for money. So I know initially you think it looks a bit of an investment, but honestly, it's invaluable. It really is. $29.99. All of the Baldrow products everyone is loving. I'm so excited for you to get your irons and your little vacuum home. Very excited. Just so you know, there's still availability on the steamer. So if you haven't yet checked out, have a look on the website. The knitting wraps are coming up next. They are already selling on pre-order. Can I show you on the website how to jump to the pre-order? Because Allison's quilt sold out in the first 10 minutes of the show, so I don't want anyone to miss the knitting roll, as we've all been waiting for it. So if you jump to the web, sewingstreet.com, click on watch live. Down below on the right hand side, you'll see a little section that's not lit up yet. There it is, pre-order. Click it, scroll down, you'll go past the products in this hour, and there it is. There it is. You've got the 2 different colorways, the different kits. And look at the price, it's so good, just $19.99. Oh, I didn't realise the cut and press is there. Grab the cut and press as well. That is another brilliant, brilliant product from June Taylor. The kits are fantastic. Okay, check out your baskets, grab them on pre-order. Allison's going to be joining me literally in the next few minutes, so do not go anywhere. We're so excited. It's Becky's knitting roll, so please, please, please get all of your support in, send in all of your messages. We're really excited to bring you the panel, the full kits, the patterns, everything coming up right after this.
Have you heard about Yarn Lane, a TV show dedicated to knitting, crochet and all things yarn? bringing you demonstrations from our expert guests as well as the latest tools. Watch us on Freeview Channel 74, Sky Channel 670 or on our YouTube channel. And find out what's coming up on the show by following us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our email newsletter or visit the programme guide on our website at www.yarnlane.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page. While we're having to spend more time at home again, we're here to keep you busy and entertained. Sewing Street will be live every day from 8 AM, bringing you plenty of demonstrations with our experts in dressmaking, quilting, bag making, toy making, needle felting, embroidery, and so much more. Our community of fellow sewists on the Sewing Street fans Facebook group are there to chat to you about whatever you're making, sharing photos and advice. Check out the Sewing Street Facebook and Instagram pages for fun competitions and offers. Watch Sewing Street on Freeview 74, Sky 670 or our YouTube channel and search Sewing Street TV to find us on social media.
Hi there, my name's Allison Maryon and I'm thrilled to be joining the Sewing Street family. I live in Staffordshire where I run a couple of sewing groups and I have a passion for vintage sewing machines and also applique. I've stitched in some form for as long as I can remember, but I absolutely love teaching and helping people stretch their skills and hopefully demystifying some of the techniques that can be quite daunting for beginners. So I'm looking forward to meeting the team and getting into the studio. See you soon.
Hello, welcome back. We are so excited about this hour, I must say. Right, let me start with a message from Alison, not our Alison, different Alison, who's just said, please tell Alison that she is a wee star. Great demo this morning. Plus, love her hair today.
Oh, thank you. I don't wear it down very often.
Looks lovely.
It went with the dress.
Nice flicky, exactly. Yeah, you look gorgeous.
Thank you.
We've had so many messages about Alison's first demonstration with the quilt. Before I introduce the kits, do you want to mention what you were going to mention about the quilt
Yes, if I
first?
can.
Absolutely, Alison. No
Yeah,
problem.
because I didn't mention what the clips were for. I said
Oh,
about
the
the
cycle
cycle clips. If you're moving your quilt around,
oh gosh, that
it's
is
so easy to just put these cycle clips on and it holds everything together. And also, you can see this is quite a big quilt and this is the smallest sewing machine. So that will, with the cycle clips, it holds it all in, and as long as you're doing straight quilting, you can use these cycle clips to hold it all together. I don't roll this side, I puddle this side. I think that's a quilting term.
Puddle.
Puddle. Because if you roll it, it tends to pull, whereas this you can just push it forward with your quilting. So I thought I would do this because I'd said about the cycle clips and then we didn't do it.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, thank you for
But yeah,
doing
it
that.
holds
That's
it all
brilliant.
together nicely.
Nice, very excited. Right,
So,
thank you ever so
there we
much.
go.
And jot down today's date if you do ever, struggle with the whole process of sandwiches in a quilt, because that was so useful earlier on. It's been a really, really busy day again today. And this is going to be another sellout. I just know it. I'm so excited, especially as in the next hour we're going to be launching. We've got, of course, another show with Yarn Lane. So everybody who might have been sort of, you know, transitioning into having a go at knitting, or might have thought, do you know what, it's just reignited my love for knitting, seeing Yarn Lane, or I've got into it, starting it. You know somebody, we all know someone who loves knitting and crochet. So this pattern is perfect. I don't think we've done anything else like this at all in the whole of Sewing Street. So start with the Shepherd's Delight, please. Because, is that the one that I've got here?
No, that's this one here.
That's that one.
The one I've got in front.
Right, okay, so Shepherd's Delight, let me show you what you get. The panel, oh look, it's got your daughter's name on and everything.
In the selvage, Becky.
Oh, it's so exciting. We'll talk about the sort of design and Becky and who Becky is exactly for anybody who doesn't know in just a moment. So, in your panel, loads of you have already checked out on this one. You have got all of the fabric that you need, 3 coordinating beautiful prints. Originally the pattern was written for fabric, but we've put together beautiful, beautiful colourways that all go together perfecly. On the website, again, it says that you get Becky. You don't get Becky. She's Allison's. But you get her beautiful pattern and gorgeous Sewing Street fabric. So, exclusive to us, plus you're getting the pattern, which we will go through with Allison as well, don't you worry. Plus you're getting your poly wadding. Let's have a quick look through the lovely knit wrap though. So, all of your instructions, really, really clear, everything that you need, plus all of your diagrams. Oh, these are lovely, and your photographs, so that's really handy that you've got diagrams plus photos as well along the way, and they are really beautifully presented as just like your mum does, Becky. Allison always does lovely, lovely instructions for us. So there you go. This is your knitting wrap. That one is called Shepherd's Delight. You can see why, can't you? Pink Sky at Night. Shepherd's Delight. Oh, do you know, I don't wish our Paul was here, Elliot. Sorry to say that. I do wish Paul was here. I miss Paul ever so much. But do you know what Paul taught me? He always says, red sky at night, shepherd's delight. Red sky in the morning, shepherd's pie. That's how he always says it, and it always makes me laugh. It's so silly, but it makes me laugh. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. And I love that it looks like it's been, it's that knit pattern, isn't it? Which I love. I absolutely love. Loads of you have already checked out on this. Loads and loads and loads of you have already checked out on this. So absolutely well done, well done, well done. The other colourway that we have is called Catch You Later. And we love the pun, Becky. We love it, we love it. It's not as funny, is it, when you have to explain your puns, is it? Sorry, Becky, for us not noticing that. This is Catch You Later, and you get, again, your pattern, you get your poly wadding, and you get your panel, and it is to make, we'll show you exactly what you're making in just a moment, go through it all in detail with lovely Allison Maryon. So, this is your big panel, isn't it? Fabric A, Fabric B, and Fabric C on this one. So this is the one, as I say, that we've made up already. And again, same sort of like knitting pattern design, but can you see the sheep? How clever is that? How clever is that? You got your little sheep, and when you look at it up close, it's not, you don't necessarily see it straight away, but oh, I can now. Now you've seen it. I know that I'm just going to always see it now, but it looks so, so cute, doesn't it? Plus you've then got your pink and your yellow, nice bright yellow, for £19.99, plus your poly wadding and your instructions. Oh, they're flying into baskets. They are flying into baskets. Kat's favourite joke again, didn't know sheep could fly. Oh, well done everybody who's managed to get it already on pre-order, because you can sit back and relax. If you haven't yet got it, check out as soon as you can. Plus, remember, your pattern and your poly wadding all together for £19.99. I must say the price is brilliant as well, isn't it? It's a lot for your money to say you get your poly wadding as well in there. And let's open it up, because Rebecca Ree's just walked in, and this is perfect for all of you knitting lovers, anybody who watches Yarn Lane or has started to, you know, get into knitting and crochet. We all need a good knitting roll, and look at this. It's a good size, isn't it? loads of your knitting needles, your tape measure, your scissors, any bits and bobs, a pen, your marking tools. Of course, you've got all of the sections for your safety pins. Anything that you need is all going to be stored away nice and neatly in there for just £19.99. Everything that you need is there. All rolls up nice and neatly. And of course with your sheep as well. I just love that one. Be seeing you. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Right, now, of course, if you've got your knitting wrap, you might need some knitting needles to put in it. What a gorgeous gift for somebody. If you're making it, then of course you could gift it. Did you know that we had knitting needles this hour?
No, not until yesterday, no.
We've got a great selection of lovely, bright, coloured knitting needles. I hope Rebecca's left the building now because we've stolen her stock from Yarn Lane. Look at these.
They're amazing needles.
You've got 8 different sizes. You've got, well, they're all 30 centimetres, but they're different thicknesses, widths, basically. So you've got 2.75, 3.5, 3.25, 3.75, 4.5, 4 millimetre, 5 millimetre, 6 millimetre as well, depending on what your yarn you're using. So all of your knitting needles, which would, sorry, I should have put them in order, which would have been, this would be a brilliant gift for somebody. The knitting wrap with all the needles as well, £31.92. A bundle of 8 of your knitting needles. Bargain, and they're lovely bright colours, aren't they?
They're lovely.
Really lovely bright colours. Right, if you're loving this show, you've got to you've got to stay around till 1 o'clock because Yarn Lane's coming up in the next hour as well. Right, so I think this must be a very proud mummy moment for you, Alison.
It is, yes. It's been a long time coming with changes and things, but yes, she's put a lot of work into it and I'm very proud.
So tell us a bit about Becky, because we haven't actually had Becky on air. We're going to be able to get her on air.
She says that's not her bag.
Okay. So did you teach Becky to sew?
To sew, yes, but not to knit. She started knitting last year. She taught herself. Both myself and my mum had tried to teach her back years ago.
Do you knit as well then?
I have done in the past. I don't have time now really. And yeah, I mean, we go away most summers on our narrowboat and I normally take a project with me and I knit a jumper throughout the summer while we're away. Yeah. But yeah, she taught herself basically with tutorials and things to knit. But yeah, sewing she's been doing for a long time. I mean, she did my dress and she quilts as well. She likes hexies and doing EPP, and yeah. Well, we did her little needle case, didn't we?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, Becky's written the pattern for us, and it was designed for fabric initially, wasn't it? So
that's right. Yeah.
Even if you've made this once,
the pattern has actually got the sizes that you need to make it out of fabric. It's not a pattern written for the panel.
Brilliant. So that means once you've done it, you can do it with your own fabric. You've got everything you need in the pattern to know to make it again. You don't need to be tracing out things of your panel, which is great to know. And they are beautiful.
Well, with a name like Mutton, she's had a lot of sheep in her past.
Brilliant! I hadn't even thought about it. Brilliant.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I think she's done a brilliant job. And when she started knitting, she said, "Mum, I need something to keep all my bits and pieces in." So that's how it came about.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? And I love that. I think this is what you do as well when you're designing, is because it's out of use of something.
That's right. Yeah. Well, everything that I've done on the show is all stuff that I've done myself in the past.
Absolutely. Yeah. Love that. Absolutely love it. So, is this something that is relatively easy? Can we all have a go at?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the panel, because you just cut out all your pieces. You do leave on your piece, because this is your outer, you can cut that one to the actual size of the panel. Yeah. But your one that you're going to put all your pockets and everything on, you want to leave a little border around, because again we're going to be sewing to it, so it may shrink up a little bit.
Okay.
So you want to leave your corners there. And as I said in the previous show, it's 505 sprayed down, because we're going to work on this and this is going to be underneath, and it does do away with the need of walking foot. Right. Because obviously it's a small piece and that holds it all together.
Perfect.
So you start off by making all your little pockets. So that's 505 down.
And I'm thinking, look, yeah, we're designing this as a knitting roll, but actually you could sort of customise what size you want.
You can put any size,
you want
any size pockets or anything like that. Yeah. I mean, you've got your little piece of felt there that you put your pins and everything in. I've cut out all the panels. It is obvious if you read the instructions, because each of these pieces has been cut. You will cut to the size of an instruction there that you would normally cut out of an ordinary piece of fabric.
Right.
So you've got all your pieces there at the correct size. So these are your pockets, and these two smaller pieces, these are for your stitch holder, and this one's for your tape measure. And it's quite obvious when you're looking at them that this is the one that's going to go up there for your tape measure, because your knitting pattern is going down that way.
Right.
And the one for your stitch holder is going to go on there, and you've got your knitting pattern actually going down that way. So that's obvious that that goes there.
And did Becky have nice little sheep ones, did I spot? These ones?
Yeah, she made those.
Are they polymer clay?
Then,
Does she do polymer clay as well?
Yeah,
Gosh,
and the button on the top.
We need to get her on the telly, Becky.
She's got a little Etsy shop that she sells those on, and
Oh,
also
look at these.
I had a text last night because she's been knitting little Brussels sprouts with eyes on, and she's been selling.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I do love the polymer clay. They're brilliant. You need to come on our sister channel as well.
They're beautiful, aren't they? Right, let's get this right. We've got this one at the top there. Got to make sure that's the right way round. That's the only thing with your pieces. They're doubled, so you haven't got to hem them, but you do want to make sure that your knitting is running in the right direction.
Right, what is the right direction for your knitting?
For me, you've got your point down the bottom there, and if you turn it that way, to me,
yeah, you can't really see on this.
No,
at the moment. Let's push in so you can see where the point is.
Let me put the two
like
together.
Knitting chevrons, isn't
yeah,
there?
there we go. So can we
you.
see the difference there? Where are we?
That's it. Just stay there and
I'll
Elliot
stay
will
there
focus in. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You can
yes,
see
yes,
this
yes.
one's running down, and that one looks like it's running up.
Right. I can see that now.
I had an argument with my cat. Sorry about
that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the be-all and end-all, is it, if you do that? But so the first thing we need to do is to make our pockets, and to do that, you fold your pieces in half.
Yeah.
And we're just going to sew down one side. Because all the other, I won't talk while it's...
You're all right,
So
we can
is
hear
that-
you.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Because it's all...
Because
It's all enclosed at the side.
Yeah.
I'll just click that off. Because it's all enclosed at the side, you actually only need to do one side.
Right.
Because this one
Will
is
be
going
in the
to go
seam.
there.
So did you just clip your corner off?
I
to
did
reduce
before I turned it, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to do this one next. So this one we're going to do two sides because that's the flap.
Yeah.
So we're going to go down both sides here. You can see I did already press it for when I turn it round. Trusty little clips. These are never, always by my side, never away from me. Absolutely brilliant little things. If anyone wants to buy a sew or something for Christmas.
Oh yeah, these are brilliant, aren't they?
Wonderful.
Are you all ready for Christmas, Alison?
No. I'd like to be. I'd like to think I was, but no, I'm not.
We're ready for our New Year's Eve party together though, aren't we?
Yes. Party frocks on the 31st.
That's it. Everybody's got to
You're
wear
in cat,
their
aren't you?
best
Party
sparkly
frocks.
gowns, please. We're all
Elliot in his gold lame.
Yeah, hot pants, that's it.
If I get around to making them,
Oh,
Elliot.
you've got to do it, Alison, please. It's been an awful year, hasn't it? A strange year.
Yeah.
So that would be amazing to end it with, you know, something magical. Elliot in gold hot pants on the telly.
Right, now this one is going to go in the corner. This is the little pocket, so I need to do this side here.
Angelina's asked, do I need to make a new account for Yarn Lane? No, you don't. It'll be the same account. It's a different website, but it's the same login details and it's the same P&P. So if you bought something already, Angeline, on Sewing Street, then you won't have to pay any more postage and packaging across the board. Is it the same with these smaller pockets that you only need to do the one side?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one you do too, because that's going up the top and that's going to be a flap. But this one is all going to be encased in the top when we put that on.
That's a lovely colour, isn't it? I think
It's
these two
beautiful,
look lovely
isn't
together.
it? Yeah. So that's like that. I'll just get the iron out and press those, because they'll sew nicer if they're pressed. Becky's message, she said, Mum, I need a cordless iron.
Did she like it? Oh, they're great, aren't they? They're great. They all sold out. It was a bit of a sort of a bit of an introduction to see, you know, what we thought of them as well, because it was the first time we had a good play with them, but we're definitely going to get more in. Sorry, I've got a big steam option on there as well.
That's all right on this one. I'm just pushing that so that the top seam, roll it over so that when we sew it, you don't see the seam underneath, the fabric underneath. And I'll do the same with that one. I'll roll that over.
It is handy having the cordless iron, actually, because I was just thinking, I mean, they're all sold out now, but I was just thinking, do you know, when I'm at home, I'm left-handed and it gets really in the way. I get so tangled with it.
I bet.
I don't know why I get tangled with it. I should just plug it in the other side, really. But I know it is user error, but I'm always a bit. I think left-handers, we always struggle, don't we? I'm always a bit.
Well, you have to buy special equipment, don't you? It's not something that that you can just pick up anything. Yeah. Mike, my other half, is left-handed, and he struggles if I ask him to do something with my scissors.
Oh, Mike's so lovely, isn't he? He comes in, honestly,
well, I think so, but it's a good job. So now I'm just going to go round the outside, very close to the edge.
Okay.
To top stitch.
Just on that raw edge?
No, it's on the fold, this one.
Fold.
I'm going to put that down because I'm not sure of the machine, so I'll do it by hand. There we go, I'm going to turn. I'll push it through a little. There we go. So this is the stitch holder.
Which is your, this part here. So
that's it. So that's sewn down.
Right, okay, yeah.
So we'll sew that one down in a second. This one is the measure holder, so we're going to sew that down both sides.
That's perfect, isn't it? It's great, aren't they? Everything's thought of. Once again, everything's thought of. And it's a really nice size. I mean, we've done different wraps for different things in the past. But for your knitting needles, your knitting needles are obviously a lot longer, and you need more than just your knitting needles.
Yeah.
So, what did you say this is called? A stitch keeper?
Yeah,
they're called
stitch holder.
Keeper, a stitch holder.
Yeah.
So then you've got your tape for your stitch holder. We're doing the hoop here for the tape measure. You've got your felt there to keep your pins, a needle, any safety pins. Anything that you might want. You can embellish, as Becky has, with some nice buttons and all sorts. Elaine said, Vicky, I just stand on the other side of the ironing board. I'm left-handed. Oh. But I ironed it handed. Honestly, I don't know why I do it the wrong side. I always try to do things right-handed. And
Right, I'm just pinning this one to the top. You'll see I've got one that I've already done. Here, I've got one that's all ready to go. This would be top stitched. That will be top stitched round, but I'm aware that I really want to get it finished and everyone see how it turns through. So you would put your row of stitching along the top of your needle piece there, your zipper, not zip, tape holder would go in there. Right, now I'll just do the top stitching here to hold the pocket in place. That's the only one you do on that pocket.
Did you use the 505 again to baste it? Yeah.
Yeah. And then this one is just sewn down here. Oh, let's put you in as well. Let's put him halfway down.
And the same like you did with your quilt before, you leave some of the wadding around the outside. You
on this one. You don't on the top because that's going to be laid directly on here and you need to know where your actual sewing's going to be. So this is your stitch keeper. So now I'm sewing within the seam allowance.
Okay. What is the seam allowance on this, Alison?
1/2 inch, I think, is a centimetre, half an inch. But with this stitch holder here, you actually sew down the other side, so you've got a long loop to put the stitch holders on. So we'll just go.
Becky's done like a little cross on the end to reinforce it as well.
Yeah. Go round. I won't do the cross because it'll take a while. I can show you it all on this one that's actually finished.
When? There, now? Elliot gets scared that you're going to hurt yourself with the needle on the machine.
Oh really? Am I close then?
Don't think it looks like you're close, to be fair, on that camera, but I don't think Alison is as close as it looks on the camera.
So there we go. That's the stitch holder stitched down, and like you said, Becky actually has done a cross. I've done it on this one. I'll show you in a second.
Yeah.
So this one now, I'm going to go down. And on this one, this has got a lock stitch. Oh, it went beep, 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 didn't it? It's got a lock stitch, so I would do that. If not, if you haven't got a lock stitch on your machine, do a little reverse stitch. It doesn't matter at this end because that's actually going to be sewn in. And then the same over this side.
Just so you know, over half the stock of each of them have gone.
So they can come out now.
Just so you know, we're less than 10 of the Shepherd's Delight now. Running very, very low on both of the kits. Look what's just arrived.
Oh, aren't they adorable?
This is amazing. I just want to cuddle them all. They are the most adorable things. They're a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be. Look at the giraffe. Oh my word, this is on Yarn Lane, by the way.
The sloth is amazing.
Can you see him just chilling out the corner of the desk? Honestly, these are Nitty Critters. Honestly, you're going to love Yarn Lane today.
They're
it's going to be
sell
brilliant.
out, aren't they?
Oh, they're brilliant, Alison. I love them.
Right.
Oh.
The ribbons come down 5 inches from the top.
The Catch You Later, by the way, we're slipping in single figures, which is the one that I've got made up in front of me. It's the one that you'll see as the picture on the website is the Catch You Later one.
You want to make sure that when you're putting the ribbons on that you put both of them in the same order. So if you've got the short one on the bottom and the long one on the top, make sure that both of them are like that. I've put them so that the long one is on the top, because then that means that when you pull it round, it goes all the way around the roll.
Okay.
That one. And this one's going 5 inches up from the bottom.
All of the measurements are in the pattern as well, aren't they? You don't need to remember all of this.
No, you don't need to remember it at all. It's very thorough.
And they are brilliant, thorough instructions as well. Becky's done a great job of writing all of the patterns as well. Did you go through all of the, did you go through it all first with her? Did you go through?
No, she did the pattern. I did read it through afterwards.
Yeah.
But no, I went through with her afterwards. She made it up and said, "Look what I've made, Mum."
Oh,
and I said, "Oh, that's lovely. You should show Hayley."
Oh yeah, we've been waiting for so long for this to be ready to go. I know there was a problem with the printer, so yeah, just so you're aware, because of the Black Friday event, there is a slight delay. I mean, a couple of days, 2 days or so on the delivery. So thank you so much for your patience. I know it's manic everywhere at the moment, but don't forget, if you're shopping 6 days over the first 12 days of December, so from the 1st to the 12th, you'll get a code for free P&P for the whole of January. And that's for Sewing Street and Yarn Lane. So you can buy anything on the website or on the show. 6 days. It doesn't need to be consecutive, but as long as you're shopping within those 12 days, one purchase a day is fine. You're eligible then for free P&P.
I've made a good start, haven't I?
Yeah, you've made a start, Alison, haven't you?
I have. Right, let's put this one down. You can, if you find it easier, actually sew all the way around the outside edge. I'm not doing that just for speed, but if you feel more comfortable sewing it all the way around the outside edge.
I've had a message. What's your beautiful secret? What is your secret for your beautiful hands and nails, Alison?
Oh, I've no idea, but thank you very much. That's a lovely compliment.
You do your own nails, don't you?
I do.
I don't know how you do them so glossy and gorgeous.
Well, it's a gel. It's a nail gel.
You put them under the lamp.
I did think that I hadn't thought it out very well before I dressed, because it doesn't go very well with
I love pink and red together. I think
do you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
like
good.
the clash. And yeah, I've got red in that dress. They look lovely. Look, there are hands. Elliot said, "Look, there's her hands."
They look short and dumpy to me.
Oh no. We know somewhere that they love a jewellery model, hand model on jewellery.
Yeah.
You'd be perfect for that. Oh, not like my little stubby fingers. Thank you, Elliot, likening my fingers to Cumberland sausages.
Right, that's everything sewn down, and you've got to be aware as well that you're going to take in a seam here. So you don't want to place this piece here, that bit there. You don't want to place that too close to this edge.
Okay.
That's going to still need to flap up when you've actually gone all the way around the outside edge. Now I've quickly sewn all these pieces together. You don't have to do it in this order. I don't think this is the order that Becky's done it, but I'm just getting everything down in place. So now I'm going to just put these ribbons out of the way, because you then measure out your pockets, your slots in your pocket. And Becky's got suggestions of distancing. On this one, they're all 1 inch. This one, various sizes coming up to larger because of the larger needles. So you would also now put on your button that's here, so that you can sew that through just this layer and you don't have to sew it through. So at this point, I'll bring in this one that I've already done.
Blue Peter moment.
Yep, here's one I made earlier.
Are you keeping those salvages for Becky?
Of course.
Notice you'd trim them nice and neatly.
Yeah. So we've got our button, we've got a flap, we've got this for the tape measure, this for the stitch markers. The ribbons I've pinned back. Do make sure you do that because it's most annoying, and this is from experience, it's most annoying getting all the way round, opening it up and finding that you've caught your ribbon.
Oh, right.
So do make sure that you put that back. But, oh, you can see it quite nicely actually. These are just channels that have been sewn in at different widths to make your pockets for your needles and pens and scissors and things like that that you'll put in.
Does Becky give you measurements, or do you just go through and
No,
sort of
there are suggested
suggestions
measurements for this.
for the knitting needles, but it's up to you what you're
It's up to
storing
you.
in
It
there.
depends, yeah. If you're going to put a rotary cutter in it or
That's
something,
it.
and
You
want
lay
to
out
use
your
it for
tools.
sewing.
Yeah. Lay out your tools and
So,
put whatever
yeah.
you want.
So at that point, you're ready to put the top on. And this is the colourway, by the way, of the Catch You Later.
Thank you.
The peach and teal green is the Shepherd's Delight.
Lovely.
And the
Pink
Catch
and
You
yellow.
Later, which is that one. Which
Yeah,
way
that was
up?
the right
I
way
can't
up.
see
That's
what
it.
way- Oh, yeah. Isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely
So
with the
cute,
sheep, isn't it?
So cute.
So clever. so clever. You're going to definitely have to get the matching counters as well, the buttons. All the,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. I love the sheep buttons she did. It was
I know,
so
they're
clever.
lovely, aren't they?
Right, so now you have got to be aware that you've got a pattern on here as well, and you want the sheep up the right way when you turn it
Absolutely.
round. So we're going to put the top layer over. This is where I said that you can actually cut this one to size.
Okay.
So you leave this one, but you cut this one to size.
And is it already sort of two size? You just trim round the edge?
Yeah.
Nice, that's
Yeah.
good, handy.
All the pockets are the right size to just cut out.
Oh, great.
They've got the seam allowances already incorporated into them.
Makes it a nice little afternoon project, doesn't it? Nice quick
Yeah,
project.
it is really lovely. So basically what we're going to do now is go all the way around the outside edge and be mindful there, look that we've taken this part of the pocket, this part of the pocket flap, we've taken that away from the seam because we're going to sew up there and then around the outside edge. I'll just put these to hold the thing in place. And that fits nicely over the top of the underside, which will be the inside. And then you're going to leave a little section here for turning through.
Is there a reason that you leave it off centre?
Because Becky told me to in the pattern. That's where she
Do what you're
suggests.
told.
That's right, yeah. But I did mark it so that it's like, I think it was Susie said yesterday, do mark these things because it's very easy to forget and you get all the way around the outside and you think, I've got nowhere to turn it through.
It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you literally, right, you know that you need to do that, but then once you get under the machine, your mind can just go.
I don't even think I used a friction pen there because it's going to be turned through and it's going to be in the seam allowance, so it doesn't matter. Right.
Now you still don't need your walking foot on for this?
No, because you've done the 505 spray, that's actually going to stop your fabrics from moving. Right. So they're actually sealed together, and a cotton really is okay on a cotton. So
not too thick.
No.
I suppose having the polywadding's not that thick at all.
No. There we go. So I will do a lock stitch, or if you haven't got a lock stitch, do a reverse.
Okay.
Because you're going to put a little bit of pressure on there because you're going to be turning it through. There will be a few clonks because you're going over several layers at different points.
But no, it's going through fine, isn't it, without walking foot? Absolutely fine. it's such great value for money. You do get your polyester craft wadding as well, plus you get your panel, and you get the panel. You could remake another one for your gardening tools, or you can make another one for your makeup brushes, hair brushes, things like that. You could put thermolam in one and do it with hair straighteners for when you go away. Make it sort of like a heat-resistant heat pad. Once you've got that pattern and you know how to do it, all the different fabrics, Becky gives you all the measurements that you need to do, all of the pockets and different things. One for your sewing as well, one with your rotary cutters and different marking tools. Brilliant. Just so you know, we are limited on both. So if you do want it today, just be aware, limited on both. This is the day. The quilt sold out very, very quickly. So the knitting roll, again, we've been saying, haven't we, all week, Kat, that everybody's been waiting for this knitting roll as well. So we made sure that we had plenty of stock. We are down to limited numbers on both of these, single figures on both. Don't forget to stock. Chugging away.
This will plonk now because I'm going to be going over the zip holder. There we go. Also be aware you've got a button in there, so place your button well away from where your foot's going to be, not necessarily your needle. You know, if you've got a wide foot and you put your button quite high, you don't want to...
Good point. You'll feel it, won't you?
Yeah.
Do you need to lengthen your stitch length when you've got multiple layers?
I didn't. I didn't say that earlier. If I'm quilting, I always quilt on a 3.
Okay.
But on this, I mean, most machines automatically go to a 2.4, so I tend to sew everything on a 2.4.
Could I do extra quilting on this if I wanted?
Yeah, you could if you wanted to, but you have got to bear in mind that you've got your pockets.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you wanted this quilting, it would probably be best to quilt it as a square initially,
then put your pockets,
and then use your quilted square like I'm using a single piece now.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So quilt that, and now put on the quilted piece. Stitch holder. Pockets. Nearly there.
I suppose it's not too fiddly to turn through anyway, is it? So you just need to leave yourself a couple of inch gap. But make sure you do a lock
stitch so that it doesn't start coming undone. So I'll do that now.
Thank you.
There we go. So now we will trim all the way round. Trimming back the corners, so we're taking the corners off. Just so that you're not got the bulk.
I mean, you get nice sharp corners. Makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Now's the point I'm thinking, have I forgotten anything, Becky?
Let us know, Becky, if Alison's forgotten anything. Is she at work today then? Sneaky watching at work, hopefully.
She might have changed her tea break.
Kat's telling me, does she work in a pottery factory?
No, she works in a lab. She's does chemistry.
Oh.
Yeah. She works for a China clay company.
Oh, a China
So that's
clay.
obviously where the connections come from.
Right.
English China, no, sorry, they're Imerys now, French company. But it was English China clay that mined the Cornish clay. And that all comes up to Wedgwood and Dalton and things like that.
Oh,
so,
fab.
Yeah. So it's weird, really, that I've ended up here.
Yeah.
And I've come from the clay country.
Yeah.
So now we're going to pull it through, and I always find that the easiest way is to poke the furthest corners to the inside.
Grab onto them.
Grab a hold of them, and then just pull the outside down. You've got to be careful here that you're not actually pulling on the bits of the wadding that hasn't actually been sewn. So make sure that you're pulling on the pieces that have been sewn, and then we can fold through. caught the...
This is the exciting
ribbons.
part, isn't it, when you see it all come together.
Yay,
It's all caught.
ribbons. So if
Oh,
I
that
can-
colourway is beautiful.
It's
the one
lovely,
that
isn't
Alison's
it?
working with is the one that your graphics are live for. The Catch
Have we
You
got-
Later.
have we got a stiletto? No, we haven't, have we?
And people are buying multiples. Right, just so you know, less than 5. If you've got it in your basket, there's way more of you that have got it in your basket than we have availability. So if you've got the Catch You Later in your basket, now is certainly the chance to check out. Don't wait for the end of the hour. Or of course you can call the customer service team if you do want to check out on your order.
I haven't got my little turner with me. Oh, I'll use my... I don't like to use scissors. I've got
I
a
was going
pair
to say
of
there's a
tweezers.
blue stiletto
I couldn't
in
see
that
it.
carousel. I can see it.
Oh, I'll use that now, sorry.
I could see it next to the rose gold
Oh,
scissors.
there it is. Yes. Put my tweezers away.
Just mean that you're not going to go through your
Yeah,
stitches.
I wouldn't use scissors. I normally use a shirt collar turner, you know, the pointed thing. And because it's flat, rather than poking at the corner, you can actually roll your seam. You can roll it into a nice point.
Oh yeah, I saw somebody using a Hera marker for that the other day, actually. The ones...
Yeah.
Yeah. All these different gadgets, eh? This is the stiletto, which is a clover, isn't it? A clover product. And it's got a silicone end. I like to use that for when I'm ironing, actually, instead of getting my fingers near the iron.
Yeah, you said that, didn't you? Yeah,
Yeah.
because we used to have a thing called an iron finger
Oh,
here,
we
didn't
still have the iron finger.
Yeah, and that was one of my things. I must get that eventually. But I had the Liberty bundle instead. I was so naughty.
Oh, I can't wait for you to get... Do you know what you're going to do with all
Yeah.
that Liberty fabric? Yeah.
I've got a book that I had for Christmas last year, and it's a particular type of quilting. Is EPP,
Okay.
and yeah, that's what I'm using the Liberty for.
That's
So
exciting.
it is exciting. I'll just press the opening, because it'll make it easier to close.
Shepherd's Delight graphics are live again. Limited
I'm
quantity.
very aware I'm sticking my tongue out again as well.
Concentration face from Alison. Oh. It's strange, isn't it, that is a lot of people's concentration faces, that they stick their tongue out. There must be something linked to your brain with your tongue. I don't know what mine is, but mine's not attractive.
Now
I think mine
I
is.
would hand sew this together, you know, a ladder stitch or a slip stitch. I would just hand finish that before I top stitch, but we're going to top stitch all the way around
So you
the
don't
outside
need
edge.
to hand stitch it down because it will get caught in your top stitching.
Yeah.
Fab. Becky says that she needs a stiletto because she uses a chopstick.
Is it one of the nice chopsticks or a free chopstick?
I think we had some, I don't think it was chopsticks, I think they were part of a turning tool. They might have even been the prim ones.
that was hot.
And somebody said to us, have you been having Chinese takeaways? We're like, no, they are turning tools. Oh,
Right.
Becky is saying, nice dress, Mum. Who made that?
It's lovely, darling. Thank you.
I love the sleeves of it.
Well,
it's really
one
nice.
of the Simplicity Retro
Yeah.
patterns, and I said to her, "What does the pattern say?" She said, "Oh well." She was at work, so she sent me the link to it, and it was actually first released in 1969.
Oh, amazing.
So when I was 8. But yeah, the sleeves are lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, really lovely.
I love all the retro things. I mean, the 60s to me, I love all the Mary Quantum. I just missed it. I was born in the wrong decade, really, because I just missed the 60s. I was sort of tank tops and things like that.
I do love the colours, though. It's perfect fabric as well for
It's
that,
lovely,
isn't
isn't it? Yeah.
it? 60s.
I'm a sucker for a blossom, you see.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's Mary Quant, isn't it? She was a blossom. A lot of her clothes had blossoms on. So I'm just pressing this down now because I'm going to top stitch all the way around the outside edge.
So you just roll the end to make sure that your yellow lining isn't going to,
Yeah.
to show through.
Oh, my glasses are steaming up. That's a good steam iron. So now this time, we want the ribbons out. We don't want the ribbons inside this time. We're going to top stitch all the way around the outside. with the ribbons out. I would normally pin this, but we'll wing it and put this first. So as I say, I would do a little hand slip stitch or a ladder stitch there. I will have to pin it actually because it won't look right, will it? And you're just going to top stitch all the way around the outside edge. You have to talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
No, do you know what? It's just lovely having a little bit of calm. How's everybody feeling? I'm so chilled. I love, honestly, these shows I just find so therapeutic. Carol said, it's been lovely seeing all of the lovely things today. That's, honestly, it's been a lovely day.
It's been a family day today.
It has, yeah. It's so, we love having you in, Alison, especially because you bring us treats every time. Not just because of those flapjacks we had before 8 o'clock this morning. They were delicious. They were buttery, weren't they? Lovely.
Now, I'm hoping I've caught that.
Pardon, cat? We've got about 7 minutes, Alison.
Okay, oh, that's plenty. I'll have it filled and rolled up by then.
Oh, I love seeing the print on this going together as well with that beautiful sheep print.
Right, I'm coming to the ribbon, so I want to make sure that that's out of the way. I like how you can tell what the machine's, how it's having to work by the
yeah,
the
what is it going
makes.
over? It
Yeah.
will change. It does a...
But it's a good little workhorse, isn't
I'll
it?
tell you what, it is a workhorse.
And that's why I really wanted to show you with the cycle clips, because that big quilt, you can quilt with this amount of room.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think a lot of people presume that if you're going to do a big quilt, you're going to need a long, you know, a big throat space, whereas actually you don't.
I mean, I wouldn't try and free motion embroider it.
Yeah.
Good
idea to put your extension
if it's
table on.
something that you're, if there's something that you're doing a new project, you know, or at least do a lot of practice beforehand.
No, that was a good tip with those cycle clips.
You've got a lot of bulk. Right, I'm now making sure that the tape things come through. Now I may have to get out my little trusty tool here. I will, just to be on the safe side.
What was that, sorry?
I might just get out my little trusty tool.
Humper jumper! The amount of times I've told everybody about this. Have you heard me, Alison?
Yeah.
I tell everybody and everyone's like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, because they come in sewing machines and people, and in the sewing machine manual, it will say that it's for putting on a shank on buttons.
Yes, and it's not.
But yeah,
Or
all
it
you do,
is.
it helps you get over a thick seam where you're going over a thick seam. What it does, because when you're coming up to a thick seam, your foot does that.
Right.
And it's got to climb up, and then it kind of loses the connection with your feed dogs and the pressure. So all you're doing is you lift up your foot, place this underneath, and it means that once you get to the thick piece, your pressure is still the same on the foot. So we're going to sew through there.
So it acts as like a bit of a ramp.
Yeah.
So good, isn't it? Have a look in your sewing machine
Then throw
box,
it on the
because
floor.
I bet everybody has got one.
And then the other side, oh, I need my needle down. Keep your needle down. The other side, then you push your needle. And in theory, you shouldn't get any skipped stitches, because you can get skipped stitches if you go across a thick piece.
There you go. Have a look. Have a look in your accessory box, see if you've got one.
A lot of the time, it's just seeing someone use something, isn't it?
Yeah.
making sure that the flap's down,
What is it, sorry?
and making sure that the flap's being kept down so that it's not puckering up underneath.
Yeah, I was going to say your machine comes with so many different accessories, doesn't it? And half the time you think, right, I have no idea. I've used my blind henfoot for the first time recently. Blind henfoot.
Oh, right, yes.
And I thought, right, I just don't know how to use this at all, and watched a few videos, and yeah, it's fab. It's a great thing about the internet nowadays, is it's brilliant to be able to just find out, you know, different things. Even on our fan page, if you put a problem or troubleshoot, people are there all the time, aren't they?
You wouldn't think, sitting at your kitchen table or in your sewing room, that sewing is such a social activity.
Yeah, you're right.
Because there's always someone there on Facebook that will help if you put a question. But also, if you're a member of a group, and I was on a Facebook page called Sewing in the UK. I was removed because I mentioned Sewing Street and it was classed as selling. But I told someone about my shirt demonstration. That's where it came from. But I'm still admin for one of their splinter groups, Staffordshire Stitchers.
Yeah.
So if you want to connect with people in your local area,
there's loads.
Sewing in the UK, and then look for your group in your area, and there might be groups around. You know, it's like doing a quilt sandwich. If you go to a group, 9 times out of 10, they've got loads of tables that they'll put together, and then everybody comes and helps.
Oh, I really can't wait for us to be able to have these groups back. But I must say, our fan page is fantastic for that. And I always spot people saying, oh, I live near you, where are you? And meet a lot of people. In fact, I did see a message earlier, I think it was from Eunice. And Rosina already answered you, because I was going to answer it on air, but I saw that, oh no, it was Eunice replied to Rosina. Rosina said, I'm sorry, it might be a silly question. I've run out of underweb. Can I use iron-on interfacing for applique? Absolutely, yeah, you can. And Eunice has already said, I don't, oh, in fact, actually, Eunice said, I don't think interfacing would work, as it has to be adhesive on both sides. So what do you think? Because we were saying yesterday,
needle turn, it depends what kind of applique you're doing.
That makes sense.
If you were doing needle turn and you didn't need to, you could do your turn over the interfacing and just leave the interfacing there. Whereas I would do it with freezer paper and then take the freezer paper out once you've pressed it all round and you've got your shape that you're going to applique.
Yeah.
But if you didn't mind leaving in the interfacing and you were needle turning, but you couldn't do free applique with it.
Thinking as well, Rosina, if you wanted to use, if you've run out of bondweb and you're waiting on more coming in, you could use the 505 spray as a temporary hold.
Yeah.
Spray adhesive.
Actually, there was a new one, wasn't there, yesterday? The June Taylor spray.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another basting spray, June Taylor basting spray.
I mean, I've always used 505 because, you know, it's the first one I knew and I know it works.
Yeah, exactly. I'll try another brand, absolutely.
Try the June Taylor one as well, because, like you say, it goes out of stock, doesn't it?
That's it, yes. Just while you're going round, let me tell you about tomorrow's show, because we are going to have to round up in a moment. We've got tomorrow another brilliant show, pre-cuts. Right, Kat is saying, I'm so excited about pre-cuts. In fact, we're going to change it to pre-cuts and panels, brand new at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Great early bird as well. And then, oh, I'm so excited to see lovely Kerry back. Honestly, we've missed her dearly. Kerry from Living in Loveliness is going to be here at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, we've got a huge roundup of all things Sashko. Sashko Revisited, panels, threads, inspiration. We've got loads coming up in that hour. 11 o'clock, lovely Kerry's going to be joining me again. Another great projects from her as always. And at 12 o'clock, we've got Claire from Native Lighting. And those of you that missed her show last time she was here, really interesting. And we've got exclusive lighting. We've got some brilliant brand new lighting, in fact. We've got the big ring light, haven't we, tomorrow? I'm so excited for that as well. It's going to be amazing. Right, sorry, Alison, we've literally got about a minute.
No,
done?
All done.
Amazing.
That's it. So you've got your pockets, you've got your flap to go over to keep your needles in place while it's rolled up and not fall out when you turn it upside down. your pins, tape measure, and your little thing there for your stitch holder. It's gone from my head. They're not stitch holders. Stitch counters? No,
Counters.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Can you show us
it's
it rolled
gone.
up so you can see the
gonna do
fabric
that
on the
now.
other side as well? Because it looks absolutely beautiful. So then this all rolled up. This is the one with the sheep. This is the Catch You Later. It's $19.99 and it is about to sell out. So if you have got it in your basket, we are literally the last of stock. Last couple of those available. So in the next few minutes, I think that will have sold out. So have a check out as soon as you can. Alison, thank you ever so much. It's so lovely to see you again. So lovely to see you. There you go, you can have a look. How beautiful is that with your ribbons as well? You're back with me on the 19th, did you say? When are you back, Alison?
15th, I think.
15th.
Yeah, 15th.
15th,
yeah.
Brilliant. And then New
More
Year's
ribbon
Eve.
on the 15th.
Oh, it's not us on the 15th, so I'll see you New Year's Eve.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, New Year's Eve.
Be
Got
there
my
with our
sparkly
party
frock
frocks.
ready.
Absolutely. Thank you ever so much. And love to Becky as well. Thank you very, very much.
You.
Thank you, Alison. See you soon. Right. Don't forget to tune over now, if you're watching on Facebook or on the web, to yarnlane.com, because look at what they've got. I'm so jealous. I'm just going to sit and snuggle these. They are amazing. Nitty Critters is going to be joining Rebecca Reed with brilliant kits today. You are going to love it. So do make sure you stay exactly where you are. If you've shopped already on Sewing Street, it's the same postage and packaging on Yarn Lane as well. And it's the same account details to log in on their website. So enjoy Yarn Lane. I'll be back with you tomorrow bright and early at 8 o'clock. So please do make sure you're joining me. Thank you for your company today. Rebecca Reed is going to join you right after this.